Ladies and gentlemen, and HMG family. Today's episode of the next level wrestling review is in memory of our friend Mike Verdes, aka Media M5. We will miss you, my friend. Big Ray Hernandez, Jamie the Vet Williams. This is your next level wrestling review. Presented by Hameen Media Group and ChannelAttitude.com. And we are NXT! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Big Ray. We're gonna do things a little different this week. So, usually we don't start the show off with acknowledging everybody off the bat. Me and Vet will start talking and making fun of stuff and being all silly and shit. This week is different. And first, let me just this is not easy. I've done this before, but I don't know. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Big Ray Hernandez, the reporter of the people. No, I'm the pundit of the people. And I'm joined here with my co-host. You know him, you love him. He is the vet, Jamie Williams. And of course, our good friend, Jimmy T from the PWC. What's going on, guys? How are you today, vet?
I'm glad to be here. I
Yeah.
wish that we were talking about something else, but I wouldn't miss it.
Jimmy, so you and Vet did a show together. I think it was like the collision wreckage combination show. The 2 for $1 AEW broadcast. Basically, it was a good show, by the way. And you guys were coming fresh off of us losing our friend Mike here, and there wasn't a lot to say, and I appreciated the fact that you guys spoke about it, but it was so fresh. So I think out of everyone, and I spoke to Mike a lot. I think out of everyone, you worked with Mike a lot,
Right.
more than anyone here. So now you've had a few days that passed by. I just wanted to know, some of your thoughts, and we're going to go into the chat. And remember, there's only one person that will be acknowledged today. That's our boy, Media M5. Mike, go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, man. Like you said, I got to work with him quite a bit, and I got to know him, man. We used to speak on the phone quite often. As a matter of fact, I was saying on the wreckage, and even off the air, me and Vet were actually talking about him too. And it's funny. I used to go crazy because he used to bust my balls, man. And when I say bust my balls, like, I mean, dude, we could be doing a show right now, for example, which is a great example. And the second we finish, he's calling me right away. And I'll be saying to him, okay, man, Mike, I just finished doing the show. You know what I mean? I'm still talking to the boys off the air.
Right.
I'll get back to you, once I get off and stuff. And he'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, blah, blah. But he'll still be calling. And I'll just laugh like, Mikey, you're doing my balls in, bro. But look, man, that was all just banter. And, he would always tell me how much he loves me, which I always appreciated. And I'd say it back to him. And, I spoke to him probably a couple of weeks ago, man. And I didn't realize, I mean, I knew what he was going through. And like he'd tell me, and he showed me like all the pills that he was on, man. He was on all sorts of medication, you know what I mean? Like everything. And I just didn't take it as serious, you know what I mean? Like I knew he wasn't well, but it was just hard to like, do you know what I mean? Person, I'd be like, Mikey, don't worry, man, you'll get over this shit. You're strong. And I'll say, man, if I was in that position, I don't know how I'd be, because, you know, he never complained, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Nope.
Never complained, and you just don't realize how serious it was because he never complained, even though it was at the back of my mind. But I just always thought he'd be around, and all the way to his, you know, to the end, he was still Mike, man. Like he like I said, I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago. The only time I thought I started taking it a little more serious was when me and Vet were doing the wreckage the week before this week. He was trying to get our attention a lot more than usual in the chat. And then which was odd. I mean, you know, he just kept going and going. So then by the end of the show, like, you know, we acknowledged him, and I'm like, I hope you're well. And, you know, he was saying basically like, please say a prayer for me, which at the time I felt that was odd for him to say that, man. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't usually say that. So we did at the end of the show, and that was the last time we ever spoke to him, man. Like in any sort of fashion. And I guess he wasn't kidding around when he said, you know, please say a prayer for me. So yeah, man, it's crazy. I mean, I've got a lot more. I could say so much more, but I want you guys to talk, you know.
Well, I mean, this is why we wanted to do this. Like, I wanted to do this in the beginning, at the top of the show, because number one, like, it's almost like I had a situation very similar to this with my friend Bill Schuyler, and I mentioned him several times, where we didn't meet for years. It's crazy that, like, how you can, you know, and I'm gonna get into, like, you know, you streaming with him, and I remember you guys. Hold on, real quick. I remember you guys playing that stupid little cooking game, and Mike's voice is like, "Hey, bring this over here," you know, like, get the gabagool, and you could. It's so his voice was so distinct. I suck at this. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not easy. So, but I had the pleasure of like, you know, actually meeting my boy Bill Schuyler and stuff like that. But it was years before we met, and we established these relationships online, and legit friendships. You become real friends. Like,
it's true, man.
Fucking love Jimmy. I mean, he's adorable.
Likewise, man. Yeah. No, I consider you guys, you know, friends. They're, like, for real. For me, man, even though we see each other right now, man, I consider that we've met each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Vet, I mean, shit, man, you stream with this dude a lot. And he was always interacting. We'll get into like how much he supported all the you know, different platforms, but I don't know if you really had time. You've had some time to process. Now I just wanted, you know, to hear from you.
Well, that's the big thing, right? The support. Because he would be so excited to be a part of it, like just hanging out, you know, and then wanting to play those games. Like, he really pushed for that. Like, hey, when are we playing? When are we playing? You know, when are we playing? I'm like, man, you know, it's got to be, you know, like a special occasion, right? You know, I can't do it all the time. Got to keep it special. So, but he would push for that, but he would be there supporting me. And then, you know, thinking back to like when you remember, Ray, when you brought Brandon in to HMG, right? And Brandon would stream on Twitch.
Yep.
And there would Mike be over supporting him, even if he was the only person there in the chat at the time with Brandon. But because he's one of us, like, Mike embraced him immediately, supported him, you know, just like he did for so many people. Like, I can only speak for myself, and I know you guys, but like, he reached out to people that, you know, just other HMG group, you know. So that was like the biggest thing, was like losing him is like losing like the heartbeat almost.
Yep.
Because all those arteries that he put out to all those different things, people that even, like, you know, if other streamers are watching me stream and I'm networking with other streamers, he'll go to their stream, just like with Brandon, you know, and watch them and support them. It's just, he really was like the community was like the biggest aspect to him. You know, you figure Italian guy, family guy, it makes sense to have community be like one of the biggest parts of his life, you know?
And he was also a very I don't know if you've had this conversation with Mike. Mike knows that I'm a very faithful person. And Mike had a very strong connection with his family and God. And for as much Mike went through physically, I think the love of his family, for his family and his faith in God might have pushed him along a lot further than maybe he could have ever gone. And also um the community we built here, you know. I joke around a lot, guys, like, I'm gonna quit doing this show and NXT is the worst and that type of stuff. But when I started this, just so you guys can understand where I'm coming from with this, when I started doing stuff like this, it was a seed that was planted from my father's death. From my father's death, where I was so down and depressed. And I saw guys on YouTube talking about wrestling, and that was my connection with my father. Much like Mike's connection with us was professional wrestling, and as much as we make fun of it, there's a very strong community, tribalism, if you and I reached out to Apter and the whole situation from there, and this is important to me, and this was important to Mike. As Mike is laying in that hospital bed, I know he couldn't really get up and move around a lot. He was sitting a lot most of the time. And but this brought joy, like being able to, because thank God for modern technology, because even during the pandemic, which was really fucking tough on Mike, um, he was still able to laugh and interact, and he knew like, I'm just using this show as an example because Mike supported all of our shows, from locker rooms to PWC to our boys at the Wrestling for Life Network now. You know what I'm saying? The A show, MVHitman was there. And it sucks on so many different levels, and I'll tell you why I need to get this out, because I've been holding this in for like a week now. And it's just like my friend Bill Schuyler. He was like that guy. He was the heart and soul of what we did at OneWrestling.com. And he did like every show, much like, Mike did everything. Much like you do, Vet. Like I would say that you are the heart and soul of this, as
For sure.
of this community. You are. And I think you need to know how appreciated you are. And I always joke around that when I see I'm gonna hug you, and you'll probably hit me, but it will happen. I will try.
You will never touch me. You will
I
never
will
find me.
You will be surprised. But the truth is that when Bill passed away, One Wrestling fell apart. And it was nothing, like, it wasn't anything that anybody did. It's just we lost that heart and soul. In this community, it's a little different than the OneWrestling.com community. I feel like, because that one was a lot bigger, a lot more people, you know what I'm saying? And so many different, but we had little seeds that followed us here. Little people that, we have people that followed us here and stuff like that. And I just feel like our little community is very tight and loving. And speaking of loving and tight community, I got to thank Liz. So I'm going to put this up real quick. So I got some information for Mike. And let me just pull up this website. I'll actually copy the link. Excuse me, guys, and put it up. There it is, right here. And I'll put it up in the chat here, and you guys can copy and paste it. And so basically, this is let me see what this is. This is what is it? Trinity Memorial Centers, and basically breaks down. We don't have any specific information regarding what day or what time or what exactly is going to happen here, but what you can do here on this page, in memory of Mike, you can plant a tree. What am I talking about? So when you click on the tribute wall, basically, you can actually leave, a tribute to Mike. And I'm gonna ask you guys, because the family will see this. I'm gonna do it on my time. I'm sure the vet will do it. I'm sure Jimmy will do it. Just go on there, even if it's like, I loved Mike's voice. Who didn't? Write something nice. We already got 2 here. And basically, here's the information down here. You got a telephone number. You can, if you're in the Tennessee area, because now, Jimmy, I'm assuming now it's going to be in Tennessee, correct? Like September Memorial.
No, I've
What is
heard
it?
that.
Are they doing it
I've
here?
heard possibly it'll be in New York, right?
Mm.
I'm not 100% certain, but last I saw, and that's thanks to Liz, by the way, it seems to be more than likely in New York. But whether his friends in Tennessee, all I know is they're the ones that are trying to get him back to New York. Whether he's there now or not, I'm not sure. But that was from last week.
It says here, wow, Mikolos.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just saw that tripped me out too.
So he
Miklos.
was Greek.
Nah,
He was
I don't
Greek.
think he might have had Greek in him for what you know, but yeah, that's surprising. That's not an Italian way of saying it, that's for sure.
Wow, Mikolos Salvatore Verde. That is the most Italian name.
He did know Greek words though, because he popped me a few times on some of our shows.
That's insane. It says here, AKA Big Mike, Media M5, 50 years old, Kingsport, Tennessee, passed away on Monday, May 6th, 2024. Mike was well known in East Tennessee for faithfully attending wrestling events. He went by Big Mike and Media M5. Arrangements are incomplete at this time, and it has all the information here. So, guys, just go there. Like, what it is, like 25 of us right now in the chat, not including me. So almost like 30 of us, and maybe some other people that's showing up. Just throw something up there, guys, like from your heart. You know what I'm saying? It will be, it's a nice tribute to Mike. Mike commented so many times, he flooded he flooded our comments, you know what I'm saying? I think Mike would appreciate it. But anyway, so I'm gonna actually copy this link right now as we speak. And this is so weird to do this, man. I hate doing stuff like this. I hold on, let me see. How do I copy this? Okay, so I'm gonna copy this, and right now, what you can do is, if you see it in the link, is you see it here. It's a long link. There it is. All right, it's gonna pop up, I hope, and you can just copy and paste it and go to the website. And what I'll also do is maybe I'll put it up on my Twitter. But everything is here. You should be able to copy and paste it here. It's all like a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, so Vet, let me just take this down. I'm sorry. So again, guys, I you're such a major part of like what we do here and stuff like that. And what is what is building like this community that we build together, like this, all these people that how can I ask this? Like my wife was like, she knew like when that happened. Let me just preface by saying, because I preface, and I'm having a hard time doing this, just so you guys understand. This ain't easy. My wife, I don't think she understands like why it hurts so much. Can you explain like why to somebody that doesn't really understand? Because we do this every single Wednesday, and you do your shows, and I think you and I, Vet, and Jimmy, definitely, because Jimmy's also like, you run a network basically. And I want to hear from Jimmy too, though. But like, why, why is it hurt so much? Like, why is it impacting us so much? I'm just talking this out right now because I'm working through my feelings.
I'm gonna try to answer this.
Right.
Forgive me if it goes off in some directions. Mike is like, in a way, he's why I do this.
Right.
Because the way, just getting invited to be a part of, HMG, my connection to Ben, everything like that, that's one thing. But, but why is it that, I take it so seriously? Why is it that I don't miss shows? Why is it that, I'm always around, or I always try to be available, with, however you knew him, Media M5, Hitman, Mike, whatever you knew him as. Like, personally, I wasn't that close to him, and not so much more than any of you listening. I treated all you guys very much the same. I didn't give him any special treatment. Any relationship that I had with Mike was because he really reached out, and like we were talking about, he builds that community. He makes those connections, even that little tribute page saying that he, faithfully attended wrestling events in Tennessee. Like, that was, that's just him being everywhere. But as far as me personally, necessarily, I have to keep some distance from everybody. I have to have a boundary. I have to, and like I said, I didn't give him any preferential treatment. But seeing him like be a part of everything that I was doing, and knowing that he was doing the same thing for you guys, helping you out personally, DMing you, being there for you with your problems when he had a laundry list of problems of his own, the likes of which some of us will never understand. Even if he told us all the things, we still can't really fully fathom it, what he was going through, and had been going through for a long, long time. Like, his chronic health issues had been building up for decades.
Yep.
Like, it's piled upon, on top of all stemming from his involvement in and wanting to be involved in the wrestling business. I mean, you guys know, like, about what happened when he was younger and he wanted to train to be a wrestler, right? I mean, you know that story. I assume he told you.
Well, can you briefly tell us?
Just
I know he made
just in case anybody didn't know, when he was training, like, it was a schoolboy gone wrong, and his neck was fucked up.
Yep.
And he never, like, fully recovered from that, and a lot of the chronic issues that he had stemmed from that in some way. And and I remember, like, when we'd be, maybe like after we shut the game, like the stream off, but we're still on the voice chat and stuff. And like, he's just gone through his, like, I got this and I got this and I got this doctor's appointment. I got this other stuff. Yep. And then, like, I'll hear like this lighter flick, and I'm like, motherfucker, are you lighting a cigarette right now? He's like, hey, it's the only thing I got. Like, bro, you're on top of everything, and you're not even gonna, like. So I would cut promos on him, and it would get to be a thing where it's like, we're all making fun of him for his health problems, and he's the first one to do it. Like, he's making fun of himself. He's making jokes about himself. We're all making fun of it. It's just something that we end up taking for granted, right? So you get to that, like, comfort level, but still, like, I try to be somewhat, I don't know, I don't want to go too far, maybe because I'm afraid of a day like this coming, or maybe just because I think of everybody else, and it's like, well, you guys are all, like, you're all part of the group, but I don't want, I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, me and Media M5 are close, but all you guys, you're just in the chat.
We all know you love Jimmy the most, but yeah, it's fine.
Well, I'm just talking about the people that that listen and everything.
Oh, I listen.
But just to see, like, the way but he would give me direct messages at times, just like, hey, thanks for the show today. Thanks for doing the show. Or just thanks for just thanks for being you.
Yep.
So to have a guy that, like, again, to a degree, to the same degree that I kind of keep everybody at arm's length, not only for me but for you guys too. To have somebody that it's like you guys are out there and we are making a difference. Like I'm making a difference just by being me. Like he's essentially thanking me for existing, for being me, because for whatever reason, he found enjoyment in the things that I do, the things that we do, as a community, or just me personally, if he's thanking me personally. For some reason, I don't know why, because like I said, I wasn't giving him any, I didn't give him any special treatment, but he still appreciated me all the time whenever he could. And supporting other people is another, like people that I support is a way of also appreciating me and supporting me. So what I take away from my relationship with him is just by being you, and this goes to everybody listening, just you being you is enough for people in your life.
Yep.
You don't have to always go out of your way, but just you being around. So when you're having those thoughts, when you're feeling like you're depressed or you're feeling like you're not good enough, you are good enough for somebody. You do matter. You are important. He's important to us. We were important to him. And that's something that everybody should carry forward from this day, just thinking about him, just you being around, no matter what, that can be enough for somebody. So always be yourself, always take care of yourself. And that's, because you never know who you make a difference in their life. Maybe they don't all tell you like Mike did. Mike told us, he let us know how much we meant to him. Maybe other people have trouble saying that. So that's why you feel like maybe nobody cares about you or you're not appreciated or those things. Maybe I'm sure there's lots of people that appreciate you that just, maybe they just don't have it in them to be that open with you and be that honest with you. But that doesn't mean they don't think it. So you can't go through your day not realizing that you are important too. You're all important. And that's why if one of you is gone, that's why it's harder to just say, well, life happens, because that's one more person that they were making our day brighter by being involved. Mike was always there with an inappropriate joke or a sexual comment or, something, but you just, like he made lots of comments about, like ladies and stuff, lots of sexual inappropriate comments about ladies. But you also know that if someone were to do something like that with him around and a lady present,
Yep,
they may end up in, like a Tony D'Angelo type situation, right? Like it's all fun and games, but he wasn't going to stand there and let you disrespect somebody. That's the kind of person that he was too. So, but I don't know if that really answered the question, but that's what it means to me. Like to not even really know somebody, but still be such a big part of their life somehow. And then I think about when we do this show and like, yeah, it's just wrestling, but then I think like, can I miss that? Can I miss the chance to somehow just for whatever reason that I could make somebody's day? Can I just not be there? And that's why you see me in this chair every time that I'm supposed to be in the chair.
I couldn't. Everything you said is like exactly how I feel. And I'll go to you, Jimmy. But before I let you just open up and say what you feel in your heart, Jim. And Jimmy and I both, we produce and we help run, these platforms. What the vet said is 100% on point. Where like when when I come on Wednesday, right, and I don't see somebody commenting in this chat, I start wondering, are they okay? Where are you? I hope maybe it's a job or something. It, like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, this is me now. I'm talking for me. I'm not talking for the boys. Like, I genuinely care about you. And I love what you said, Vet, about how just being you is important enough. You know, people sometimes they I had a conversation real quick, Jimmy, before I'm sorry, I have to get
No,
this off.
please, man. Don't worry about me, man.
I've had a conversation or two with people who felt like they weren't enough, that they were weird, depressed, lonely. And I'm not going to say who these people are, but the funny thing is that a lot of these people ended up doing stuff with us, like on air. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these people are thriving in their personal lives. And that is a testament to the power of connection, of human connection. I believe God put us all here. And forgive me if I get religious or whatever. This is how I feel. So I'm going to talk how I feel. You know, I believe that, God could have just made one person, but he didn't. He made two. He knew that Adam needed a partner in Eve. So he put two people together, and those people made more people, and those people made more people, and you had the animals and everybody. We need each other to survive. This is it all works. It's all a puzzle, and I know where the end is, and it's a beautiful end. Jimmy, I have some more things to say, but Jimmy, I just want you to just take your time, bro, and just
I'd
talk.
rather take my. You please continue. I'd rather hear you first, and then I'll get talking,
Okay.
man.
So I mean, it's not going to be much because I have something I wanted to say here at the end when we close this out. But I just need you guys to understand that it's not just Mike, because when this happened with Mike, again, I thought about my boy Bill, and I thought about other people and listeners that I knew that some people passed away. Some people passed away, and some people that I knew that were listeners that were going through very dark times. And they shared a lot of like, I don't like you guys. I always tell you, like, hit me up, you know, and the shit I've heard over the last years is crazy. But I feel like I feel like God put us here for this reason. We sit here, we talk wrestling, we make fun of wrestling, we talk sports or whatever it may be, but it's about the communication. It's about being able to connect with people, because for some people, they don't have family, they don't have friends. They maybe they're not happy at work. And I'll tell you what, during the pandemic that we went through, especially in 2020, with me and Colin were doing the Ridiculously Random podcast, and we would get messages from people that just couldn't fucking leave their house. And they looked forward to 7 p.m. Boom. Wednesday, was it Wednesday night, Thursday night? I forgot what the hell time it was, but they knew it. And you guys know that unless I have a dentist appointment, I'm gonna be here Wednesday, 11 o'clock. Vet always gives me shit about it. But and I appreciate the fact that the Vet takes this so seriously, because I take this seriously. We're not gonna fucking make $1 million off of this thing. It'd be nice if you guys can get us a sponsor or two. But we're not going to make $1 million. I don't think this is why we do this. There are some people out there that do this same thing that we three do, and I swear by anything. I think that just us three, me, Vet, and Jimmy, I think we do this better than a lot of these people that actually make money off of doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because we do it with love, we do it with compassion, we do it with it's real. we're not doing this because we have to. It's a job. We're doing this because we love you guys, and we love sharing with you guys. I love getting up in the morning Wednesday, even though it sucks. I'm on a 4 hours sleep, but I love getting up because I look forward to the fact that I'm gonna laugh, or I'm gonna get angry, or Vet's gonna get angry at me. I look forward to it. I really do. I look forward to, and Mike, like I just said, Mike had a lot of faith. A lot of faith. I don't know what, like, Mike's relationship with the vet may be different than Mike's relationship with Jimmy. My relationship with Mike was more one of thankfulness and faith. So I have a very strong belief of where he is right now. And he's resting. And after Jimmy, you talk, I think we can move on. We can maybe say some closing things, but something I wanted to share with you guys. Okay. We all know Mike went through a lot of pain. And I had, like I said, faith conversations with Mike. And please don't get offended by this. Oh, forget it. Whatever. This is from my heart. In a good book, in the Bible, it says in the book of Revelations. Now, people hear Revelations and get scared, but this is Revelations chapter 21, verse 4. God makes a promise. And this has to do with Mike and all his pain and all his suffering and the time he spent here on earth. And the Bible says that God will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be anguish, sorrow, and mourning, nor grief, nor pain anymore. For the old conditions and the former order of things have passed away. Mike's not hurting anymore, I promise you. I feel that in my heart and my soul. I know this. And because of his faith and because of his love and because of the person that he is, Mike is good. He's good. And we are all better off for having had a relationship with him. God, I believe, puts special people on this earth to be a light. And that's exactly what Mike was. Everybody here says the same thing about him. Whether you knew him for a year, whether you knew him for a lifetime, whether you knew him for a week, whether you just saw a comment of or two in a chat room somewhere, you knew that he was a person that was going to, no matter how dark that room is, no matter how dark a room is, no matter how small the match is, that little match light can light up an entire room. It's a fact. And Mike was that light. And I want to thank you, Mike. I want to thank you for sharing personally the things that you share with me, which I will never say. They'll stay in my heart. And I want to thank you, Mike. And you know what? I'm talking to Mike. Mike right now he wouldn't want to come back. Not here anyway. I think we need to just understand that he's okay. And we're much better off for knowing him than not knowing him. And I'm better off as a human being because of stuff like this, because of stuff like OneWrestling.com and the Wrestling for Life Network and the PWC and, of course, HMG. I'm better because of you guys. I could have a terrible week, and because, let's say, Labrat says something crazy in the chat, or Gam Wolfers just always so loving and positive. You know, Jerome Hall, maybe you say something inappropriate. Or Cold-Blooded. Elizabeth. Frank. Scott, who's so sexy, I'm afraid to put up his picture because I'll get knocked off. I mean, seriously, guys, like Mike, and it's like Pierce Austin. That's another connection we have. That's another connection we have. Pierce Austin. I fucking love you boys. How you say it in Australia, Jimmy? I fucking love you. Waller.
Same thing. How you guys say, bro? The same thing. But we love him too, man. Definitely. I've had some deep conversations with Pierce too, man.
So, like I said, Jimmy, you worked with Mike, and that's why I kind of wanted to give you the last word here. Like you did videos with Mike. Mike actually appeared on videos with you. What the fuck? I was going back. I threw up the last I think video that you guys did, but he wasn't on video. When you guys reviewed WrestleMania 40, I threw that up on Facebook, which was cool. So I wanted to allow you to give, and before Jimmy talks, give the last word, and Vet, you can say something, and we'll move on with the 3 count, and we're gonna give Mike and you guys a fun show. We're gonna talk some wrestling. Oh God, we're gonna talk some NXT. It sucks. And the best part, we go back in time. I want to, and again, the reason why I wanted to do this now is because, especially kicking off the show, is because I wanted all of us to be able to just have some time to express ourselves emotionally, wipe away the tears, and we'll get out of here on a good note. Now, that's kind of an oxymoron because NXT was horrible, but neither here nor there. Jimmy, your closing thoughts on our boy.
Well, first of all, I just want to say what you guys said was beautiful, man. I mean, both of you. I mean, I couldn't put it in words how good that was, the way you guys spoke of him, and just the whole Media Group family. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like you said, both of y'all, you guys don't understand how much you guys mean to me. Even, you know what I mean? And even used to. I mean, I used to listen to you guys before I was even on the Media Group family, and especially you, Ray. I mean, I remember you from years back, and even on WrestleZone.
Yeah,
that's when I first heard of Ben as well. And funny with Ben, especially, which makes me laugh now that I think about it. He would always put his Arab gimmick on when he'd review the shows, and I used to think he was legitimately Arab. You know what I mean? I'm like, who's this Arab guy, man? You know what I mean?
You mark
with Nick Hausman. But no, for real, I really thought he was an Arab. But the point is, I was always a fan first and foremost of HMG, and just to be on with you guys is an absolute pleasure for me, man. Just so you guys know that, man. I mean, going from being a listener and a fan to working with you guys, I mean, that means the absolute world. But as far as Mike goes, dude, I mean, if you were ever down and you needed help, he was the first person to be there to help you, man. You know what I mean? Like without fail, he would always be there. And like I said, he'd call me frequently. And just to be on the phone with him for 2 hours plus, it was never like 10 minutes. It was never 5 minutes. It's funny. Yeah, and Pierce saying.
They're talking about Rip Rogers on the phone.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I ever heard his voice, I'm like, damn, dude. I go, you said you're from Tennessee? I go, I could have sworn you're from New York City, bro. You know what I mean? With that accent. And he goes, oh, well, that's where I'm from. And, he was telling me he moved to Tennessee because, it was cheaper, first of all, than New York. I can only imagine the difference. And, the healthcare was better for him because, as the vet said earlier, he was going through this for a long time, man. And
you'll get more personal attention in a smaller town than you would here in New York City.
Right.
I understand. Yeah.
And it totally makes sense why he would make that move. And I used to say, dude, aren't you so you sound so out of place? But he'd tell me that because he's from New York, people wanted to get to know him more. Because he had that wise guy accent, man. You know what I mean? That Italian sort of wise. Yeah. I can't even give it justice, but that's exactly how he spoke. And that popped me straight away. I'm like, look at this guy. Sounds exactly from The Sopranos. But, man, yeah, people would be fascinated by him. I didn't know that if you're a New Yorker, basically, or someone from even California has this same sort of thing, people from all over America that are not from Cali or New York City are fascinated with people from Cali and New York City. And Michael's one of them. People were just fascinated by him because of the way he spoke, and it's funny, man. But for me, I know it's been a week and a half now since he's been here with us, but doesn't feel real, man. It just, I can't believe I'm waiting for him to like, you know, like message me or call me. And man, his last tweet, like that, you know, I mean, that haunts me a little bit, man. I'm not gonna lie, because of what he said. You know, it's like I'm not dead yet. You know, and man, he'll never be dead with us, man. I'll make sure we always remember him. And you know, he was a true one, man. And like I said, you guys, what you guys said was, I couldn't even put it any better. But he was literally a brother. He always cared. I used to think he cared too much, but you know what, man? He was put here for a reason. And sometimes, you know, we can take people for granted, but
Yeah.
man, you know, like I said, he would always tell me how much he loved me. I'd say it back to him, and I just can't believe he's not here anymore, man. And I am gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him a lot. Like I said, it's not gonna sink in for me until, I don't know, man. It just won't. And I wish I was there, man. I really do. It kind of sucks that I'm all the way down here and I can't show my proper respects. You know what I mean? But oh man, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm here. I'm just hoping, like, I don't know what's happening with his funeral. If it's going to be in Tennessee or in New York City, but I hope he does get to go home, man. And one thing I do know is he got to go home late last year to go and visit his family, and you know, unfortunately, that was his last time. But man, he never complained, man. He went, like Vet said, he's been going through this for a long time, and it was just one problem after a problem. And I was glad that he was, you know, we did do some videos like where he did appear, because he'd be so like, he would always have to put gel in his hair, and I'd call him a bitch. You know what I mean? I'm like, stop being a bitch, man. Relax. You know what I mean? It's just, no one cares. Look at me. I go to him, you know? And he's like, oh man, Jimmy, I got to put, you know, I got to make myself look good and stuff. And I'll give him shit about it. But even the last show we did, I thought he was going to be on video. And I'm like, why aren't you showing your face, man? You know, he goes, oh, Jimmy, I just got out of the hospital and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, he really cared about the way he looked for everybody else, the way, you know, the way they see him.
It's a sign of respect.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And, you know, I didn't realize how, you know, he was close to everybody. Like, I guess, you know, because he used to call like a lot of people in the chat too, which I didn't know about. I mean, you know, he cared about all of us, man. Sometimes, you know, I used to think he cared too much, but he was genuine, man. He had a genuine heart. And even though he could be annoying at times, I'm gonna miss him annoying me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, because he always had time for you. And, you know, sometimes I wish, you know, I had more time for him, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
And Mike, if you're listening, man, and which I'm sure he is, just know, man, we love you, and you're not in pain anymore, man. And that could be, you know, nothing but a positive, because he was hurting, and he was hurting a lot. And
Go ahead, buddy.
no, it's just it's hard, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to talk, but I hope he's listening. Like, I hope he's listening, man, right now, because he'd be at those pearly gates, and he'd probably be laughing at us for even talking like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he put everyone else ahead of himself, man. And that's no lie. That's the truth. And if I was in his position, I would have been miserable, dude. The fact that he was as positive as he was, I take my hat off to him, because I don't know if I could have been able to deal with it the way he did. And I'll tell him that. You know what I mean? I really would. I don't know how he does it, man. But you know, before he passed away, you know, he'd joke around by saying, you know, I'd be like, don't worry, Mike, you get through this, man. And this is over the phone, right? And he'd be like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, you know, and I'd be like, stop talking shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, stop saying shit like that. And I guess, you know, he wasn't, you know, it's just, I it makes you think, man. Life, it's the most beautiful and harsh thing at the same time, man. And you know what I mean? Like it's don't get me wrong, I love life, man. I love being here, right? I love doing this. I love, hanging around with you guys. I love, interacting with the chat. And the chat, man, there's so many people that actually care, that actually reach out to see if you're all right. Like if I miss the show, I'd have people messaging me, man, saying, "Are you okay? Are you good?" Zane is one of them, man. Zane always goes out of his way, always to check up on me. And just know I appreciate that, bud. Just so you know that, and I've told you that. And they don't have to care, man. They don't have to care about us. You know what I mean? But they fucking do, man. And I've, I just, Chris Whelan's another one too, man. Like, who got to know, from the chat to, becoming friends in real life and doing shows together, man. And, oh, man, it's just know, like, we love you guys too. And just, it's hard to put in words, like, how much we truly mean that, because I don't think there's another, listener base out there that's as close to their, to people like us anywhere, dude. And I truly mean that. And this is the beautiful thing about Hummy Media Group, because it legitimately is a family, man. And we wouldn't be doing this without you guys. And I truly mean that. Man, all the times I feel down, once I do this, man, I'm happy, man. And
right,
like, just know that you guys make my day, including both of y'all and everyone else in HMD. And I love all of yous, man. But Mikey, you're something else, man. You know what I mean? You're something else, and we're gonna miss you, buddy. Just know that, man.
all right. So this was good because I was holding this shit in for like a week. And I know I got on Facebook and I announced it. I've done that a few times, but this one hit different. You know that term, this hits different. And that's a real testament to to the person that Mike will always be. I don't want to say was. I feel like it's weird. It's a weird thing with certain people that were such a light in this world. When you leave all that positivity, when you show so much love, you never pass away. It's like you stay there forever. Like Mike is always going to be part of our group. Mike is always going to be, in our chat, in our mind, in our heart. There's not going to be now. I'm serious. It's not going to be a day that I do this that I'm not going to, I'm not going to look at the chat. I'm sorry. I'm not going to look at the chat and be like, to think about, hey, where's the cover gold? I said this 1,000 times that I would probably continue to do this until the day that I go see my Lord, because I genuinely care. I love you guys, and as much as the vet comes off as a cold-hearted, dark vet, Jamie, I care about you, man. Jimmy, I love you, buddy. I would tell
you guys too, man.
I would tell Vet I love him, but then he would feel a certain way and probably block me on social media. But I hope you guys,
for your safety.
I'm telling you too, guys, and I mean this, and this is sincere from my heart. Like, God forbid anything ever happened. Like you said, we live in a world where it can be beautiful, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're gone. You guys need to know that I really care about you guys. I'm talking about you, Vet, you, Jimmy. And us three can be on this earth another 25, 30, 40 years, who knows. But just know that I really, really, really appreciate you both. because whether you know it or not, I'm talking about you, especially you, Vet. No offense, Jimmy.
It's all right, man.
I don't tell you everything, but just know that you're the fact that I know that every Wednesday, you're here. It's helped me get through certain things that I've only spoken to my wife, and I appreciate you. Thank you. As a man, I'm telling you, as a man, thank you, bro. I hope deep down your black dark heart, you know that I care. That's all I'm saying. Colin can go, he can go flip off a bridge. I don't care about that guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, anything else, Bet? Anything else, Jimmy?
Well, just to sort of to end it on a little bit of a lighter note,
Let's do that.
Mike was a ridiculous human. There's no way that anybody could know him for any length of time and not be like, is this guy serious?
Is he real?
Yeah, but he sure was. And it was so great because he was the first, like I said before, he'd be the first person to let you know. There's, I found out, like, I was getting ready on Friday to do my normal, Twitch stream. And I found out like when I say 5 minutes before, I'm talking literally 5 minutes. So I had 5 minutes to process this news. Not even sure if it's true yet, because all I'm seeing is a comment or maybe a social media post, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel silly just sitting here playing a game if this is just, but then at the same time, I think about what I said earlier, talking about how it's like, well, I can't not be there because other people are going to hear this. I have to be there for them. We're going to want to talk about it. So, I had to break the news to several people throughout the course of that stream, but we were all like immediately, we were just joking like we always did. And we had so many, like there's so many stories that came just from the couple of years, that we've all been in there as a just my personal Twitch community and everything. Like so many stories involving Mike that had just branched out into like lore, and references. And when he would come into the chat, he would reference the references and we would all make the inside jokes and we would all know what everybody's talking about. Like you may have seen Liz and Jerome, the twins, talking about a chair. There was a whole saga of chairs of where Mike was like ordering chairs from Amazon, assembling the chair. It's not good for him. He has to send it back, get another one. Like this happened, I'm not kidding, half a dozen times over the course of however many months. Like he's returning chairs, building chairs, returning chairs. So when you guys see that and when you see them talking about it, that's one of the many things. And it just kind of dawned on me, like, as we're all just processing this, but we're still already joking about it. And it just hit me. It's like, dude, he's not even gone now. No. He'll never be gone.
No.
Like he's always going to be here and we're always going to talk about it and we're always going to reference him and we're always going to think of him. And we're not going to be sad because we're going to be laughing about it because that's what he would want. He would not be the kind of person to say, he would definitely not want us to stop doing what we're all doing. But he would also be the first person to say, hey, what am I, chopped liver? Like, don't forget about me. Talk about me, Like, he would want us to do that too. Like, he doesn't, he wants to stay a part of the community, even if he's not here on Earth, but he's still never not part of the community. So don't you guys feel weird about, referencing, talking, celebrating, joking, whatever you guys want to do, just do it like you always have, just he's still here. So don't worry about that.
And not for the very last time, I will. And of course it's not gonna connect. Why is it not connecting? Who knows? Let's see. Let's see. Why is it not connecting? Okay, so apparently this thing ain't working. Oh shit. You know what's funny? This always works. Remember,
I
Jimmy,
can
you
tell
were
you a
having your
story.
issues
Yeah, right. I do absolutely.
and you feel like Mike was messing with you?
I'm telling you, bro. I was
What
just about to say that.
My
I'm telling you,
soundboard
man.
isn't connecting. That's crazy. Oh, Mike. All
No
right.
shit, man. It's
Fair.
trippy, man. I just want to say one more thing about Mike, man,
Yeah,
before
do
we
that.
do. And I forgot to mention before, but he called me one morning, man. I was looking. I literally had lost $50, man. Right? Like I literally lost it. Like I went to the supermarket and I must have lost it there, man. And that was my last 50 at the time before I got paid again. I'm like, man. He's like, what are you doing? But like, I'm trying to find my 50 that I've dropped somewhere, whatever, blah blah blah. And he was in hospital at the time, mind you. And he's like, oh, I'll send you 50 right now. And I'm like, nah, man, don't be silly. What are you talking about? Nah, man, it's all good. But I just wanted to point out that he didn't even hesitate, man. He was like, I'll send you 50 right now. Like, it's no problem. It's only $50, blah, blah, blah. Just pay me back whenever, dude. I'm like, dude, nah, man. I don't fucking take $50 off you like that. But I appreciate that that you offered it like that, because the fact that he didn't even think, man. You know what I mean? Like he offered it straight off the bat. And he's all the way in Tennessee. I'm all the way in Melbourne, Australia, man. Like, the fact that he thought that way, you know what I mean? That's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because who thinks that like that, And the fact that he did, and that was literally the last time I spoke to him over the phone, man. And that's the last thing that I heard him say was he offered me that $50, and no one does that, man. And I'll always be appreciative of that. You know what I mean? That the fact that he did offer it to me. I didn't end up finding that 50, but shit happens. I'm sure we've all lost money before, just out of our pockets or whatever, right? But yeah, I'll always be grateful for that, man. And that's what type of person he was, man. And again, Mike, you're the biggest troller, yet you had the biggest heart, man. And he really did, man. He really cared. Even though he came across as, like Vet said before, he'd say some fucking stupid shit in the chat, especially about women. But man, that's just him. Like, he's just fucking around. I mean, shit, I used to get embarrassed when he'd say shit to Liz in the chat. And I'd be like, oh man, don't say that shit to Liz, man. Like, you know what I mean? But I know she she's like one of the boys. She didn't get offended by it. And, she's tough, herself. But yeah, like we'd all give him shit about that, man. And yeah, thank you, Mike. You know what I mean? Just thank you for being you. And I don't want to put everybody down, but you will be missed. Even though I still can't believe you're gone, man. And like I said, I'm just waiting for him to call me. I expect him to call me, but like you, how things weren't working for you, dude, Ray. When we're doing the wreckage, man, everything was fine beforehand. You know what I mean? Like off the air. The second we went live, there was a huge delay. It was just a whole complete fuck up. You're on mute, by the way, Ray. You're still on mute.
I said,
there we go.
I kid you not. The entire time he was talking, it didn't work until I started. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, people, you guys don't understand. Maybe you don't understand. Maybe you do understand. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Mike is in a much, much better place. And he's feeling amazing. Because he's surrounded by love. Pure love. Whether you believe in an afterlife or not, I do. And I'm telling you guys, Mike is good. He's good.
Yeah, man, for sure. He's pain-free now. And, that's what matters, man.
So let's have some fun, boys. Every time I do our little thing where we do the
acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. You're gonna acknowledge me. You there, sitting at home. Acknowledge me.
Mike will always be acknowledged here. That's going to be a promise. Okay, guys? With that being said, now we're going to do the worst thing we could possibly do. And talk some wrestling. And Mike, this one's for you, kiddo. It's the 3 count.
This is the 3 count. With the latest breaking news in pro wrestling, sports, pop culture, and more. Now back to Big Ray and the Vet.
Kid you not, bro. All my electronics are going weird, all crazy. Even with the Vet before we got on, you know, he couldn't hear me. I had to freaking restart and reset my computer. I've never had this many. So I don't know if this is Mike. Mike, I don't know if you're messing with us or messing with me. But if you are, thank you. Because you just
he would be, I'm telling you.
He's just
Yeah,
put a little
he's
piece.
trying to hang out and stuff is just getting messed
weird.
up. It's like
You don't understand, like this, the connection between my Rodecaster and the iPad is very flawless. It never, that's the one thing that never acts weird, wouldn't connect. So I'm just saying. Now listen, Mike. Mike knows about this. And let me just fade this out. I'm just gonna put this on real quick. Because ladies and gentlemen,
Last night, the New York Knickerbockers destroyed the Indiana Pacers by 30 points with only half a team. The basketball didn't even have air in it. It was deflated. But somehow, Jalen Brunson bent that little prick Halliburton over his knee and gave him a spanking, a 30-point spanking, ladies and gentlemen. I just need to get that out of
I believe Von Lilas has a bone to pick with you because
he fucking hates the Knicks. He's a Pacers
he
fan.
definitely he definitely acknowledged you on
What did he say?
the Wrestling with Rip Rogers.
What did he
Well,
say?
he was talking about how you're all over social media, talking about the Knicks and everything, and he's not too happy about that. So.
But I like Von Lilas.
Well,
It's not good. I don't want to get chopped by the guy.
a friendly rivalry, let's say, for now.
Well, I guess I'll start tagging him on my social media posts. I don't think I'm
He's an Indiana guy, so.
But I'm not. I don't
know.
think I'm obnoxious. Like when it comes to because I genuinely care. Like I've been a Knicks fan. They've always sucked.
He just made a meme of
I know.
man literally spanking another adult man. So, but
That's
you're
obnoxious.
Not obnoxious at all.
This is not obnoxious. But speaking of obnoxious, let's talk about Tony Khan and AEW. So check this out. So and speaking, and this all ties in with the NBA. So I don't know if you guys know, but the NBA, their contract is up with TNT Sports.
Mm-hmm.
So it just came to light that let me see if I can pull this. I think it's hold on one second. Give me a second. So anyway, so long story short, and do you remember back in the day they used to have the NBA on NBC?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they're going back to NBC. So hopefully soon we'll be hearing remember this?
It's the NBA on NBC.
Yeah.
The New York Knicks face off against the Chicago Bulls live.
And you have Michael Jordan coming out. They show Jordan, fucking Pippen, and Ewing getting dunked on. Oh my God,
that was back in the day. That was classic, man. Classic NBA.
Hey, didn't John Tesh write that song?
He did. You know, I was this years old when I found out it was him. I just never knew. And they have a live version of this shit. Anyway, so the point is that TNT now apparently, I guess they're going to be resigning AEW. They have nothing else. Listen, your thoughts on the fact that it took them losing a contract, that being TNT. Do you think? All right, let me ask you this way, Vet. I'll go Vet and then Jimmy. Do you think that if TNT didn't lose the NBA contract, that they would have re-signed with AEW? Not that
so.
it's cemented yet, but this is what I'm hearing.
I think so.
All right, go ahead, talk about it.
Well, in the era where terrestrial TV is dying, the only thing that you have left to covet is live content, right? It's the only thing that can separate you from the streaming services like the Netflixes and the Amazons and stuff like that, is that you have something that's live. And even Amazon, YouTube, like YouTube's trying to, every time I have YouTube on my phone, it's trying to sell me on the NFL Sunday Ticket now.
Pain in the ass.
So their streaming services are trying to get in sports. That's all that cable, satellite, and regular over-the-air TV have left is live sports. And maybe some of those like scripted reality or perhaps, competition shows like The Bachelor or whatever. Like, other than that, nobody really cares about, TV anymore. Why else do you need? So, even though wrestling's wrestling and people can have.
You keep saying that nobody cares about TV, and I'm just asking you this.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why do they fight so hard to get these TV deals then?
Because TV still cares. So like Comcast, right? They're in the business. And that's NBC. Like it says NBC, but it's really Comcast. They're saying we want the NBA back because that's what will help us. They're still trying to hold on to what they got. Eventually, it probably will all become like some sort of streaming or whatever. Maybe there won't be any more free TV, or at least maybe no cable TV or satellite TV, right? But the live sports is the most coveted thing that you can get. And so NFL, NBA, MLB, all those things, even the NHL, which I think TNT, Warner Brothers still may have.
They do, yep.
At least for a while longer. Like those are the things that everybody really wants to pony up for. So I feel that NBC could always, because Comcast is like, dude, their wealth is bottomless. They could outbid anybody pretty much. So if they wanted the NBA that bad, nobody's going to outbid them. They'll all just, it'll be like at the auction house, like people holding up the paddles, and then eventually they'll just put them down. So they were going to spend whatever they felt like they wanted to spend, and Warner Brothers can't match that. Warner Brothers' financial issues are out in the public. Like WBD is like, they're out there saying, like the news was out there that they're like, hey, we're looking for mergers or maybe acquisitions if anybody's interested. Like, who the fuck says that? That's pathetic, right? So we knew that they were probably going to make an offer and Comcast was going to outbid it or whoever else, and they were going to lose it. But nobody's going to want AEW, so we'll just hang on to that. It's kind of like they're both like leveraging each other. Like AEW is going to get a better deal because they're the only, they'll be like the 52-week a year live sports show. So they'll get like a little bit better deal. And TNT's like, who else, or like Warner Brothers is like, where else are you going to go? Nobody wants you. Who would want you now?
So you think they'll lowball?
Yeah. AEW. So it's like they're it's kind of funny. It's actually kind of funny and interesting. But yeah, I think they were going to do it anyway. And if they had the NBA, they could have lowballed AEW even further. But whoever signs for like a media rights deal that's less than what they got, they'll usually go somewhere where they can get more. Like who takes a pay cut in media rights?
What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, I find it interesting because, first of all, they're treating AEW like second rate. Let's be honest, man. Like the vet said,
why would they do that?
Well, look, why haven't they re-signed them? First of all, second of all, obviously maybe because of the NBA. But keep in mind, though, yeah, they are bleeding money. That's true, and it is out in the open. But they've also, you guys have got TNT Sports, right, in the US?
Unfortunately.
Right. Well, they've they've gone out and signed all sorts of soccer leagues, for example, as well. I know you guys don't really care about soccer, but for example, the English Premier League.
You mean football?
Football, exactly. I
sorry.
said that because of, you guys, Americans. But
Freaking
don't worry, in
dirty.
Australia, we call it soccer too, bro.
Oh.
I know, it's football. But anyway, they signed the English Premier League as well as the European Champions League, Europa League, and all that stuff. So that would have been a lot of money in itself. The only thing I'm not going to be happy about is no more Inside the NBA, man. You know what I mean? No more
I hate
Shaq.
them. Nah, fuck them.
What? Nah, that
they
was the best
suck.
show, bro.
Shaq
Come on.
sucks. Shaq sucks. Barkley sucks. You know who's?
Oh, please.
What about Ernie?
Barkley's about to be the highest paid sports figure on television, bro.
The only person
That's not currently playing.
The only person they're gonna
Right.
keep is Ernie Johnson. I think.
Ernie Johnson's a legend, man.
All right,
So they're
listen.
gonna bring all
Ray's
of them.
obviously trolling.
Nah.
He couldn't possibly believe
Right.
any of this. He
Bro,
can't even
way.
keep a
I
straight
can't
face.
hear this
I'm with
guy.
Bet on this one, man.
This guy. They don't even. Shaq and Charles Barkley do not even watch basketball games. They had no idea the Knicks were that good. Like
They're
they had
just
no idea.
trolling, man. Come
They're
on.
not trolling. They had no idea. You could tell. It's almost like somebody like me. If I got on to review freaking AEW, I never watch.
So it's just a matter of you taking it personally that they don't care about the Knicks. Well, why should they? What have the Knicks ever done?
They
That's true. What have the exactly? Yeet.
Yeah.
What have they
Hopefully
done?
they'll do something now, but before this year, what have they ever done? But seriously, yeah, Charles Barkley coming on that show the first year he was on and just saying exactly what he thought changed sports broadcasting forever. Nobody was saying their real feelings. They were all just like glad handing everybody and being careful with their words. And then Charles Barkley just comes on there and is like, man, they suck. And then everybody's like, the first year of, you watch Inside the NBA, the first year he was on and everybody's looking at him like, you can't say that, Charles. You can't say what you really think, Charles.
I love Inside the NBA, man.
I'm not
It's a
your
great
role model.
show.
I ain't your role model. Shut up, you and your freaking big.
Oh, come on.
Girl
bro.
butt.
Come on.
Legend, Charles Barkley. You're alone on this, Ray.
Well, here's the deal. Here's a
You
fact.
actually look like the round mound of rebound there and the wrong
I know.
jersey.
It's true.
Here's
Exactly.
Here is a fun fact. Fun fact. There is only one other player that I've ever had a poster of or wore a jersey of, other than a New York Knick, and that is Charles Barkley.
Really?
I had his
Look at you.
Phoenix Suns where he slam dunking the ball
Yeah.
on my wall, big poster, and I bought his Phoenix Suns jersey and Philadelphia because I was always, I'm like 6'2". Well, I was 6'2". I'm probably shrinking now, but
Yeah.
You had a
when I used-
copy of Shut Up and Jam for the Sega Genesis.
I played that game too.
listen, when I played basketball, I learned to box out bigger players. That's probably why I made the team in high school. I was a very good rebounder for a guy my size, and I had a pretty decent jump shot and a decent inside game. A lot of that was watching Charles Barkley play. I love Charles Barkley's game. He was like 6. They say he was 6'4". Charles Barkley was probably like 6'2".
Oh, he's taller than that. I
No,
think
he's
taller than
6'4".
6'4".
No, he's
Sure.
6'4". No, I think they
Okay.
listed him as 6'6". He was probably like 6'4".
Yeah, 6'6". I remember him with 6'6". Right.
He's
But anyway,
really
okay.
like 6'4". But Charles Barkley was an anomaly. But his hatred of the New York Knicks makes me want to throw up. That's just how I feel. What is this, a fucking fly? I don't have flies in this house. Mike! Mike is fucking with me today. But anyway, I just found it interesting, man. Also NWA president Billy Corgan is saying that he has, it says let me see what it says. This is off of WrestleStink.com. It says it's been a week. Let's say it's been a big week for Billy Corgan as a Smashing Pumpkins lead singer and NWA owner. New reality series. I don't know what the hell this is, but it says here. So it's dropped on the CW app, the NWA Power. But he says that there is a TV deal that has just been brokered and hasn't been announced yet.
I guess it just has.
Well, yeah,
We've
but
been hearing that.
He
though, a
announced the
lot,
announcement.
Ray.
Exactly.
This is like an AEW episode itself. We're gonna announce that we're gonna have an announcement later.
Is Billy Corgan
On
becoming
Dynamite.
Is Billy Corgan becoming Dixie Carter, guys?
Yes,
Explain.
I think he is.
Explain.
Well, he first of all he did learn under the learning tree of Dixie Carter in TNA, if you remember, when he was supposed, even though she fully turned heel on him or swerved him by. You remember how he thought he was gonna be half partners or some shit with Dixie? He was gonna own half of TNA, and then they swerved him, and he got bitter and stuff. Well, I just think he seems similar because I just find him all talk, dude. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, NWA was supposed to be like another sort of big wrestling promotion coming up, right? Again, like that's how he proclaimed it anyway. But it doesn't feel that way. And even though, yes, look, we do have a lot of our very own that's part of that company. Shout outs to Chris Silvio and Bulletproof Troop, who turned heel on Silvio, by the way. I don't know. Can you believe that? God damn you, Troop.
Can I believe it? How about this? I knew about it before it happened. Yes, I'm part of that clique. That's my boy, bro.
I spoke to him also earlier. Actually, we're supposed to be doing a show soon. I don't know what's going on with that.
Listen, Blake Troop is going to be dropping more heads on people's foreheads for quite some time. All right, so just remember this: when everybody doubted Blake Troop, I had that guy's back.
Me too. I'm one of those guys, man. As a matter of fact,
you are a liar.
You can ask him yourself. Actually, he would come to me. As weird as that sounds, anyway. Look, I shouldn't say it here. Let's I'll kayfabe it. So I don't want to bring it up here, but anyway, the point is that's a big no-no. But as far as back to what's his name, Corgan, yeah, I do think he's exactly NWA on Destination America 2025. He would jump at that in a heartbeat. Oh yeah, and Aaron Stevens also, shout out to him because he also used to be part of our family. But yeah, man, I just think he is kind of Dixie. And do you think he's going to be, you know, there for the long haul? Like, I hope he is, and I hope he does. But remember the debacle when they were going to sign with CW, and I know they're on their streaming platform, whatever, right? But they were supposed to be on national television, and they fucked that up with the whole Sinister Minister, you know, cocaine row, which is silly. I mean, come on, that is Dixie Carter-esque right there, bro. You know what I mean? If you didn't know about it, you're a fucking idiot, Corgan. I'm sorry. Well, say, you know what I mean?
I'm going to wish him the best. I'm going to wish the NWA the best.
But in saying that, I do wish him the best also.
Sure, why not? I mean, why not have a another wrestling promotion? Vet, anything you want to say? There's no more news. We're going to jump into this day in professional wrestling.
We already talked about this a while ago.
Yeah.
Whenever the announcement for the app thing was happening, we already said, like, I mean, show us.
Right. I gotta tell you something. Oh, wait a second. Today is May 15th.
Yeah. The download you're talking about, DLC?
Yes.
Yeah. I was looking at it right before we went on the air because I'm a day ahead of you guys. I went on it and they're there, but for some reason, and I've paid for the season pass, man.
Yeah, I got the whole gimmick.
Yeah, me too. I always do that. I always pay fucking.
We're talking about WWE 2K24, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like I knew you were going there. Yeah, like Mussolini. Yeah, he's there.
So we got CM Punk. We got CM Punk. We got Sandman. Not Sandman with the.
Yeah, I was surprised about that, dude.
So does he have the music or no? Or does he have?
Nah,
the
he doesn't. He doesn't. Yeah. Can you believe that shit?
You got the Dudley Boys and you got Terry Funk, correct?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to start a WWE Universe and just use CM Punk because I already won with Cody Rhodes. I won the World Heavyweight Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, the Tag Team Championship. I dropped them all, and then I switched shows, and believe it or not, I lost to Roman Reigns.
This is turning into the Aaron Ben Shlomo podcast.
It is. But before we do move on from that, you know what? I still need to add you on Xbox Live, dude.
Well, then add.
I'm talking about you. I know, but what's your thing again?
It's Big Ray HMG.
Okay, all right. I'll remember.
It's so freaking like I'm gonna play my brother in WWE 2K24. I mean,
look out for Price's Gym.
All right, well then find me. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go back to a better time. What am I talking about? It's time to go back. This day in professional wrestling history. Watch me put the wrong music. Yep, wrong music, you asshole. Now I got to do this. Now I have to turn this over here, right? And then hit this. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yo, my shit is disconnected again.
Huh.
I can't hear the yeets. Oh, there's a reason.
What the?
Well, I don't know what this
was
is.
that?
What is going on? Anyway,
Like
ladies
Aunt
and gentlemen,
Wolfers?
Will you stop?
what the hell was that? All right, let's go back, ladies and gentlemen. It is May 15th, 1990 something. This day in professional wrestling, May 15th, 1992. And ladies and gentlemen, 1992, Mexican wrestling promotion Triple A was officially launched.
Mhm.
That we know that you are a huge AAA wrestling
Massive.
aficionado.
Massive fan.
So big that until very recently, I would say like until I started, maybe like shortly before I actually started podcasting, I wasn't aware that AAA had not been around longer than it has. I thought it was at least, 70s, 60s, something like that, CMLL is the oldest active wrestling promotion.
Right.
But, I just kind of assumed that since AAA is a competitor of theirs, that they'd been around quite a while as well. But, relatively young at just 32 years.
Well, people.
Is that
Well, here's the thing. People, I think, confuse that World Wrestling Council, the one run by Carlos Colon, which was around for
That's
many,
in Puerto
many,
Rico.
That's in
Yeah.
Puerto Rico. So
Yeah,
Right.
I never confused that.
Well,
I
some
was
people
talking
do
either.
strictly AAA.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was much older.
well,
Triple A.
in an alternate universe, it was.
Hmm.
But yeah, AAA. And it's funny that you say that, guys, because I also felt the same way. I'm like, wait a second, AAA was only in the 90s.
Mm.
Jimmy, you being Greek and also from Australia, AAA being
Yeah.
the #1 wrestling promotion in Australia, tell us your thoughts on AAA wrestling.
Every time I hear AAA, I just think of Master P, and I just go, Triple A. Na 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 na.
I'm not
That's
going to
what I
put over
think
your whack jokes, Jimmy.
That's what I think. No, look, AAA. What can I say about it, man? I've watched more CMLL than I have AAA, but I have watched a bit of AAA. But for me, Lucha Libre, it's too ridiculous for me, man. I mean, we complain about shit that happens on North American wrestling.
hmm
If we were reviewing that shit, oh my god, dude, we would be extremely negative, especially knowing me and Vet. I mean, you might like it, Ray. I don't know, but
No.
it's not for me, man. Even though I only watch Triple Mania, when Triple A do their show, but that's about it, man.
So who was the first? I'm trying to look something up here. I'm trying to say who was the first AAA world champion. Would you guys know?
Mil Máscaras
It's not gonna be Mascaras. Was he even wrestling in freaking?
in the 90s? He was.
He was,
still.
but maybe
Yeah.
not there. I don't know.
Not there.
I feel like I would know it if I heard it. I may
He was
have
in
heard it in
WWE.
the past, but
In the
But
90s,
it only.
actually, if you
But hold
remember.
on, it only goes back to 2007, the Mega Championship with El Mesias. I know you know El Mesias, right?
yeah.
But
he was just on Triple Mania too on the card.
But why? This is weird, dude. It doesn't show. Like I can't find. Jimmy, can you find? I'm really curious who the first champion is. Anyway, if you can find that, that'd be great. While we're doing that, let's go to 1995. One of Vet's very favorite professional wrestlers of all time, Bam Bam Bigelow, pinned IRS Erwin R. Shyster in the main event of a live edition of Monday Night Raw from Binghamton, New York. Jesus, that's the main event, by the way, folks.
That's right. You guys complain about wrestling today.
Oof. Bam Bam Bigelow and IRS was the main event. It says on the follow-up taped edition, Shawn Michaels returned to in-ring action against King Kong Bundy. What? In the King of the Ring qualifying match.
If you don't think Vince McMahon got cussed out for that booking afterwards,
That your thoughts on the great King Kong Bundy?
well, he was great. Hey, did anybody else ever think that there was two King Kong Bundys?
The one with
'Cause
the
he looked
eyebrows
like a
and one without the
completely-
eyebrows?
Yeah, because he looked like a completely different person without eyebrows. And I was like, wait a minute, did they just get another bald fat guy to be King Kong Bundy when the other guy wasn't available? But I guess it really does make that much of a difference to have eyebrows.
How about
Google-
when he had hair? How bad was it?
Yeah, I was about to say Google AWA King Kong Bundy. That is weird looking with the freaking cape and shit. You look weird. Any luck on that, Jimmy? You probably know, right?
I'm currently on the page now. I'll get back to you in
Isn't
2
it
minutes.
just Wikipedia. That shouldn't Wikipedia.
I am.
I
I'm-
know
I'm at
Wikipedia
it
only
right now.
shows 2007 and on.
Are you sure you just don't know how to read?
Anyway, let's go fast forward because nothing happened for many years. Let's go to the year 2000. It says 3 title changes happened. This is why this company went out of business. AEW. 3 title changes happened on WCW Nitro from Biloxi, Mississippi. Chronic, Brian Adams and Brian Clark, also known as Adam Bomb and Crush from Nitro, defeated the franchise Shane Douglas and The Wall for the WCW tag team titles. Crowbar and the late great Daphne defeated Chris Candido and Tammy for the WCW Cruiserweight title championship, whatever. Okay. And then finally, in the main event in the year 2000, and he was old then, Ric Flair won his 15th world championship by defeating Jeff Jarrett. Vet, out of everybody that I mentioned here,
I thought you were going to say a Paisanos manager.
out of everybody
the
I
way-
mentioned here. Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy.
Al Macias was your first AAA champion, and he won it in a tournament
No,
to be crowned your first
Yeah, so what,
mega champion.
but what about the 15 years before that the company existed that
That's
they
what
must
I'm
have had a
saying.
different championship?
that's what
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not talking about mega. I'm not talking about mega championship here. I'm talking about inaugural
No.
champ.
That's
Okay.
2007. That's
You
what
know
I'm trying
what,
to
Ray?
tell you.
Just continue with the time machine. I will do it.
Yes, Vet, please,
Apparently
thank you.
guys just
Oh, wait a minute, mate. Okay, no, continue. Sorry, guys.
All right, so Vet, oh no, Vet's looking at things. So
no. Go
I
ahead.
found.
Go ahead.
I
What do you
found
want to
it.
ask me? What do you want to ask me?
go
I
ahead,
can do
Jimmy, go
this.
go.
I did find it. First of all, that their first bout was called the IWC. Yeah, I did say IWC World Heavyweight Championship, and I think they were called International Wrestling Council or something like that beforehand until they became AAA
Okay.
and the championship. Yeah. Well, anyway, the first ever champion was Cien Caras
Okay.
in 1993.
That makes sense.
There you
That
go.
makes sense. All right. Sin cara, you mean.
100
Cien
faces.
Caras.
Or Cien cara, 100 faces.
Cien.
Who the
Right.
fuck who's that, Vet?
I don't know. Let me look.
Cien caras. I don't know that.
Obviously,
guy.
he's a totally cool guy that we all know.
Well, he's got 100 faces. Not just
Um,
not no
right.
face.
he is best
Well, he's-
known for his appearances with CMLL.
Right.
I guess this
He
was
was
like
also-
the big. Well, this would be like the big. This would be like the big jump, right? Like they're starting a new promotion, and this
Right.
guy comes over, and that's like a big deal because he's the star of another company, right? So
That is gay.
He was also called Milk Caras as well.
you
Stop
sure?
it. Milk
He
face,
was.
really?
Yeah. I'm not
Okay.
kidding. That's what it says
All
on Wikipedia.
I think you are just kidding. Let's continue. So my question to you guys was, your thoughts on the Wall, underappreciated?
Nah.
I
RIP
think he
to
was
him,
about-
but
about
He
as
passed away?
appreciated.
he died years ago.
I don't know. Oh my God.
No, he really did.
Too
yeah,
young.
he died
Way too young.
way too young, right? But yeah, as far as his legacy goes, I mean, I think of him as in WCW as remember the group that we had. What's it called? What was that army stupid group called again?
Army of Two.
No. What's it called?
No, even we were
WCW.
better than the Misfits in Action.
That's it. Misfits in
That's
action.
right.
That's what I remember him as. Like in WCW back in
We didn't have
2000.
major guns, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
Major Guns. That's it.
So also in the year 2000, on the Go Home edition of WWF Raw Before Judgment Day pay-per-view from Cleveland, Ohio, Chris Benoit defeated The Rock in a non-title submission match. Vet shaking his head like he knows what's going on. Also, Crash Holly, rest in peace, lost and lost the WWF Hardcore title to the Godfather. Okay. Vet, you were shaking your head like you remembered this non-title match. I don't remember anything that
didn't. I
happened
was
a
just
week
trying
ago.
to-
Oh.
I was trying to be supportive. Well, I think after this, wasn't this where like The Rock started using the sharpshooter all the time?
That's true. I think you're right.
Possibly.
No, you're absolutely right. No, wait. 2000. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it was around the time, like Chris Benoit got there in 2000, and it
He
was
did,
around
yeah.
that time The Rock sort of adopted the sharpshooter.
Right.
Around
I
that
think-
time. Maybe he did it
I think
before,
99. Wasn't it 99 when he first started using? If I remember
but,
correctly.
I don't know.
Probably. Why not? Anyway, let's fast forward. 2001, we in Louisville, Kentucky. In a go-home edition of SmackDown before Judgment Day, Triple H and The Undertaker fought to a no contest in the main event. This would be Triple H's last appearance on SmackDown for 8 months due to a legitimate quadriceps injury, which happened 6 days later on WWF Raw in San Jose. Is this when he came back to MSG with the leather jacket with the denim jacket over it?
This would have been the two-man power trip versus Jericho and Benoit match where he tore the quad.
By the way, I was there at Madison Square Garden when Triple H made that. The place exploded. 2004, at an event in Lexington, Massachusetts, the ROH Tag Team Championships changed hands when the Second City Saints, Colt Cabana and CM Punk, you might have heard of him, dethroned Jay and Mark Briscoe. Anybody remember this match?
No.
Jimmy, you were a huge fan of the Second City Saints.
Actually, I do remember him, but I don't remember that matchup. Funny enough.
Well, check this out.
Was Colt Cabana doing like cartoon bullshit in that tag team, or was that later?
Yeah, he was.
Was he? Okay.
I'm pretty sure he was, yeah.
And CM Punk was just being serious,
Yeah,
and they were just
pretty
a tag
much.
team, and they actually beat the Briscoes.
Don't you do this before a fight with your wrist? I do. The wrist.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
do you do it during it?
Yeah. You ever punch somebody like that? Anyway, 2005, Jeff Jarrett defeated AJ Styles for the NWA World Heavyweight title in the main event of TNA Hard Justice from Orlando, Florida. Let me see what else we got here. 2006, Shelton Benjamin regained the Intercontinental Championship from Rob Van Dam in a 3-on-2 Texas Tornado match. Excuse me. The originally booked match was WWE title. I don't know, the rematch from. Okay, nobody cares. Let's go to 2007. We got 2 more here. Oh man, this is a big one. You guys ready for this? Jimmy, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Because you guys just spoke about this, I think, on one of your. Anyway, 2007, WWE released future Hall of Famer, all-time great, and possibly one of the greatest in-ring competitors of all time, Sabu. Guys, your thoughts on Sabu's incredible year-long WWE run?
Wow.
Well, of course, when you bring in Sabu to the WWE, the one thing that you have to do is make him talk and cut promos.
You don't want to.
Oh my God.
Why would
Oh, you
imagine
don't
that?
want to do that? Well, that's interesting. I wish you would have told them that all those years ago, because that's exactly what they did.
Remember when Sabu?
Because it's totally a serious company that was totally about making money.
Jimmy, remember when Sabu was approached by Vince McMahon backstage, and Vince McMahon towered over him by over 1.5 feet?
I don't remember that, but it wouldn't surprise me because let's be honest, Sabu, he wasn't the tallest guy, was he? But in saying that, I think he was too
Sweet.
hardcore for the big companies. Yeah, too sweet. Yeah. No, he wouldn't change his style, hence why he never got a proper run in WCW or WWE, even though he was part of both companies at one stage. But they wanted him to tone down. He didn't want to tone it down, so.
Bro, I was watching, I forgot what, I think on YouTube, a Sandman match. That guy was terrible.
He was terrible. He was
Like,
terrible.
was he shoot drunk? Like, was he really
Yes.
drunk?
Sometimes
He was, yeah.
I thought that, my whole wrestling, I thought it was just a gimmick. Like, maybe he was
No,
drinking out.
no.
This guy
But you
was
know what? Hack was a good guy, though, man. As weird
not
as
a
look,
bad
I don't know
person.
him
I said
personally.
as a
right.
wrestler.
Right. Well, you know what? I think he became better later on in his career. And I'm talking about after ECW. I remember watching him on Ring of Honor about 5 years ago on not the TK Ring of Honor, but, you know, the
Right.
the previous one, and I saw him do sentons and shit like that, and I was like, what the hell?
Sandman
Him-
was doing
Sandman was
Isn't
doing
he
senton.
sober
I kid
now
you
or
not.
something?
Sorry,
Isn't he like sober now?
I'm not sure if he is or not, but if he is, good on him. But
Yeah.
he's an emotional guy, man. He really is.
Usually guys, that like I said, usually crazy, like I don't know, people don't portray themselves as they are in professional wrestling. Vet, you ever been in a ring with somebody like fucking blasted, like
No.
drunk or high?
No,
Oh, that was-
thankfully not. Maybe high.
Jesus.
The Sabu was like, he was like an early cautionary tale that's relevant to like this generation, where he was trained properly, or at least as properly as anybody, could have been at that time. But he did something that nobody else was doing, which was just dive through tables all the time. So after he did that to get himself over, there's no going back, because now you've only shown the people this one thing. So they're not going to want to see you do like standing switches and wrist locks and headlocks and, tackle drop down. You can't do that. You got to bring out a chair, bring out a table. You have to do these things. So he pigeonholed himself early, and this is from his own mouth. Like, he understands this now, but at the time, and we say the same things now about young guys like, whoever, Commander, Vikingo, whatever, like, we're just like, all these guys do is a bunch of flips. And it's like, well, they're trying to get themselves over. But the problem is, if they get over doing that, that's all anybody's going to want to see. And they'll have no use for them after that. And Sabu found out that the hard way. And to a degree, Sandman is like the same thing. Like, he tried being a regular wrestler. He tried having a surfboard. Turns out the most over thing he ever did was drink beers to Metallica. Like, nobody cared about what happened in the match after that. That was all they wanted to see. But then what are you going to do? Again, Sandman can't drink beers for 10 minutes and then get in the ring and then have a mat classic. It's just, you're stuck. So whatever you do as a wrestler, this is a message to all aspiring pro wrestlers out there. Whatever you do, make sure it's something you will want to always do. Because if you're successful, that's what they're going to want you to do.
Jimmy, you were a huge Sandman fan.
You know what? I've got a Sandman autograph card. Funny
No,
enough,
you don't.
I do. I
don't
do.
believe
Where
you.
is it?
I don't know.
I'll show you. You
Is
guys.
it behind your
in a moment.
joystick? What is that joystick?
No, I've
for?
got. Oh, that's an arcade. A little arcade machine.
Is it now? What games do you
Literally,
have there?
yeah. Everything. NBA Jam.
Shut up.
All the wrestling game. Everything, man. Yeah,
Why are you not streaming with the vet? Can't you connect it to the computers?
Actually, yeah, because it's a Raspberry Pi that I put in there, so I could stream it.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah,
I haven't had Raspberry.
It's pretty
Pi.
good. No, it's pretty good. Basically, I got the little Raspberry Pi. It's as big as. See, even this thing here. I don't know if you can see it. That's another Raspberry Pi, which is a portable computer, though.
Wait, show that again. What is that?
Because it's connected. See that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's basically a PC. Well, it runs on Linux though. This is Linux, not PC,
Right.
and it's a Raspberry Pi. But yeah, so is that in the background. Yeah, it's. Think of MAME, like MAME. I know Vet would know what MAME is. I don't know if you do, Ray.
No, I'm an idiot.
Don't roll your eyes. Come on, man. Well, anyway, fucking yeah, it's the same type of shit except it's running through Linux and Raspberry Pi.
Okay. Well,
Pretty
anyway,
cool little thing, man.
all sounds delicious. Speaking of delicious, finally in 2000. Okay, I'm sorry, Jimmy. You gonna say something?
No, because I wanted to say about Sandman in particular. I mean, like Vet said, he pigeonholed himself.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, what you will, well, people did love him, but it was all about Into the Sandman and Metallica, man. His entrance was something else. But really, would people give a shit when he went to WCW's Hardcore Hack? Do you remember that, guys?
Was it Hack? It was Hack.
Hardcore Hack. I know that's
Hardcore
his
Hack.
shoot name. Right.
No Metallica song, no crowd entrance, no beers, right? No beers.
Oh, no, I think he still smoked
Wine
them
coolers.
beers. I
Did
think
he
they
have
tried to
beer?
make him quit.
Wine
Do you remember? He was trying to go straight, if I remember, in WCW. But,
Like
yeah,
instead of a cigarette, he had a vape.
I don't think vapes were around yet, but imagine that. No, he did have
Dark.
his cigarettes and shit, but they tried to make him do promos, which was just bad. If you remember, he wasn't even there for long, man. I think he lasted 6 months, if that, and then he went back to ECW at the time.
Really?
Yeah, for real. From what I remember, anyway. It was 99, I think, Vet, that he signed with WCW at the time.
Let's
Or 98.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact years, but yes.
It was around that timeline, anyway. Hardcore Hack.
Was it hardcore freaking hack? Why don't we
He
do
still had
something
his kendo stick and shit. It was still the Sandman, but just Hardcore Hack.
if you guys don't remember the and we only have one more entry here. If you guys don't remember how wonderful this guy was at cutting promos, why don't we just play this 30-second promo from ECW World Heavyweight Champion Sandman?
Everybody thinks it's a fluke. Well, I know it's no fluke. Woman knows it's not a fluke. You might think it is because all you see is a beer drinking, cigarette smoking, pool hustling scumbag.
Yeah, well,
With the world's heavyweight champion. Shane Douglas, the college educated, history teaching, professor of the mat wrestler. I beat him.
that's it. That's all we need, ladies and gentlemen.
And
Sounded like he was
there's
going
that card,
somewhere.
Ray. I
What is
know.
You really have
That's
one?
the card.
Why would
I
you
really
have
do.
that?
I got that in the packet, dude. No shit. Back
Why?
in the day.
Why would you have that? Anyway,
Yeah, look, it wasn't my choice. I wouldn't have bought it.
finally in 2011 at TNA Sacrifice from Orlando, Florida, Sting retained the TNA World Heavyweight. Yes, Sting was still wrestling and he was old then. Sting would retain the TNA NWA World Heavyweight title against Rob Van Dam in the main event. China, yes, the China and Kurt Angle were victorious over Jeff and Karen Jarrett, which I always thought Karen Jarrett was so hot. Anyway,
She was back
she
in the
was.
day, anyway.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it says Tommy Dreamer pinned AJ Styles in a no disqualification match, and Mickey James retained the TNA Knockouts Championship in a title versus contract match against Madison Rayne. Anything you want to say before I give the birthdays out? Notable birthdays, ladies and gentlemen. We have the late great Kerry Von Erich, who was born this day in 1957. We got Mr. Damn Ron Simmons, born 1958, first official Black World Heavyweight Champion, but some may say Bobo Brazil was.
Yeah.
We have born in 1981, May 15th, Cody Daner. Okay, Vet. For those on audio, Vet is face palming. 1983, Tom Lawlor. Anyway,
Wait, what year was he born?
1983.
Oh.
Who's Tom Lawlor?
Filthy
Is that a
Tom
May
Lawler.
fighter?
He's a
Oh, yeah.
former
wrestler.
mixed martial artist, currently wrestling for.
You threw the filthy in there. Now I know who it is. And finally, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, born in 1995 on May 15th, a feliz cumpleaños to Dragon Lee. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was this week or this day in professional wrestling history.
Will you stop?
No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Vet to speed run. NXT. Oh, I'm playing two songs at one time. Uh-huh. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Look at that boy. Uh-huh. Ladies and gentlemen, it is NXT. May 14th, 2024. And ladies and gentlemen, it is headlined by a bunch of matches nobody cared about. With a tournament for a title nobody cares about. For a cup. The main event had a cup nobody gives a shit about. Ladies and gentlemen, this week's NXT. And the Vet will take it away.
You know,
Yeah.
NXT was like NXT was all like they were watching AEW as they often do, and they were like, "Man, look how bad they're booking Swerve. We could do worse than that."
Cheese and crackers, brother. Cheese and crackers, vet.
Hey, guess what? We're
Chicken
starting
butt?
off this show hot.
Oh shucks.
Noam Dar is down backstage.
Oh no.
He's down.
Why?
Noam down. Yep.
Hello.
Yeah, pretty much. So we don't know what's going on. Just him laying on the ground, looking uncomfortable, slightly uncomfortable. He didn't even look hurt.
Yeah, he wasn't even selling, dude, at all, which was.
He looked
blew
like
my
they
head in.
woke him up. They woke him up from a nap on the ground. is what it looked like.
I'm bloody hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
give
man,
me a
don't worry.
break.
That's not gonna be the last Scottish bullshit we had to deal with.
He's
So-
Scottish?
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was Welsh.
No,
I mean-
Scottish.
whatever. He's from Scotland. I mean, whatever his heritage is. But yeah, so we get a recap of that combine, the amazing combine. And here's what I'm going to do, guys, as I run down this. If you guys really have something to comment on any of this crap,
I'm probably not.
just hold your
going to.
hand up like me, just like it's class, and I'll call on you maybe. But other than that, I'm just going to blast through it. Yeah, so we're going to have qualifying matches based on the top results of the combine. So those 12 women are going to have 6 matches. I guess they're doing a number 1 and number 12 seed, number 2 and number 11 seed, so on and so forth. I guess. Kiana makes a stopover from Monday Night Raw to give Izzy Dame a pep talk. Then Sol Ruka does one of those promos where she's like on her way and she's going to talk to the camera. And then she enters on her hands. And then we get Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame. And as I was watching this, I was like, which I'm barely watching it, but I was watching it. And I did think to myself, boy, Sol Ruka's repaired knee sure isn't going to like some of the bumps that she's taking here.
No. She has a nice butt, though.
Well,
She's got no hips, though, man.
It's all right.
Yeah,
She's
like
pretty.
many volleyball players. You know who else is a volleyball player that has no hips? Charlotte Flair. So
Yeah.
what is it about having no hips that you got to play volleyball or vice
I don't
versa?
know.
I don't know.
No, you have never seen the Brazilian volleyball team or the Brazilian beach volleyball team. I will
Well,
get a
we're not
picture.
signing any of them to NXT.
We
so
will.
until we do, we got a little advice.
Mm.
All right, Soul Snatcher. Saul moves on. The family meets with Ava Rain. She wants to fine them $20,000 for disappearing that referee the previous week. And they got an envelope with $20,000 in it. So of all the times I've complained that people should be fined on this show, and this is the time that they decide to enact and enforce the fines. Brilliant. Idris and Malik, Ray's favorite tag team, are with Brinley Reese, Jimmy's favorite sidekick. Out the Mud makes an entrance. Sarah Schreiber is with Lola and Shayna, and then Karate Carmen and Natalia attack them, because why wouldn't they? Then we get ENM versus OTM, and OTM actually gets a win here.
Why?
They're big dudes, man. Just quietly.
I love
Very
those
exciting.
guys. I'm serious. I fucking love those guys, and I don't know why these guys shouldn't be just wiping the. I would have put the titles on these guys already. That's how much I like them so much. Even that kid. What's the kid with the? Is he wearing contacts or is those his eyes? The kid that does the fucking demon crawl, like he's like stalking. My God, the facials they make, they're great. Now, in Idris Enofe and Malik Blade, this is the gimmick that they give you right before they release you. The bad luck gimmick. Am I wrong here, Vet? Because there's
Oh,
nothing
the-
else.
Yeah.
rubbing a rabbit's
maybe.
foot.
Well, you've been calling for their release for a long time now.
I'm just tired of both of them. But they're
I just want.
good. Go ahead.
No,
Jimmy.
sorry. Continue.
No,
I was
I'm
going to
just-
say
yeah.
I wanted to point out because Frank Pickles Barrel's ass in the chat said that they look light skinned and not out the mud, as in out the mud. That's because
Racist.
I know that's so racist.
Sorry.
One of them's actually Mexican.
Okay.
Just quietly, yeah. So that's why they're light skinned. But also I want to point out what happened with what's his name? What was the little guy's name again?
Scripps.
Scripps, that's it.
Yeah.
Did they get rid of him? Because I haven't watched it since the last time I did this show.
He's been I'm sorry, his contract has not been renewed.
Oh, really? Oh, wait, he got released?
Did he grab a
Technically?
drawstring?
He might have.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Well, out the mud, I actually like him too, man. I'm not going to lie. So I'm with you there, Ray. But they are still green as fuck. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they really are. But they have potential for the future, definitely, man. Just as long as they clean up their in-ring personas, I think they could be great. I think, the main roster will love it. Imagine two beasts like them on the main roster, like,
doing
winning tag team
jobs to
championships.
DIY.
That's the problem.
I can imagine it.
That's the only issue, but we'll see.
Yeah, Metaphor's in the trainer's room, and Ivy Niles' music starts to play, so that means Lash has to go get ready.
I like watching Lash stretch things.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. Ivy Nile makes her entrance, and then we come back, and Ridge Holland and Frazium get interrupted by the Good Brothers, and then they tell Ridge he can find a partner for a loser gets kicked out of NXT match or something. I didn't really follow what they were talking about. I didn't understand what any of these monkeys were talking about.
Here's the problem. And Jimmy, tell me if I'm wrong. Whenever Ridge Holland starts speaking, it's like I get tinnitus. You know what tinnitus is? Like the ringing in my ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't focus. I swear to you. I was watching it on my little iPad yesterday, and as soon as he got on, I started scrolling Facebook to see Nick's comments on the Nick fan page. I have no interest in Holland. And it's weird to me, Jimmy, because if you look at a guy like Ridge Holland, is he necessarily a bad wrestler? Is he necessarily bad when he talk? Like he talks realistic, like it's what's the word? Genuine, not genuine. It's just like he talks real. Like, I don't know.
Genuine.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing really wrong with the guy, but why is he so? Maybe to me, maybe you love him. Why is he so unlikable?
No.
Why is he so unlikable? Is it because
I can see
paralyzed the Biggie?
Well, you know what? He does get a lot of stench from the IWC, and still does till this day. The last time I saw Ridge the Fridge, wasn't he quitting wrestling supposedly? That was the last time I saw him. Yeah.
Oh, that only
What happened
lasted
there?
like a week.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, anyway,
No explanation either, so don't feel
no
too
explanation.
Well, we need
no,
one.
seriously.
I mean,
wait,
they tried
there's no
to
explanation?
do an angle, but they didn't really explain it too well.
Damn, that's sad if that's the case, and I'm sure it is the case because you just told me that. But I mean, look at him, man. He's not even that big. They make him out to be some tall dude. He's not tall, first of all. Second of all, he's just a plain Jane, man. I mean, look at him. Really, who is he? What is he? They call him Ridge the Fridge, but he don't look like a fridge to me.
You sound like a RoboCop. Ridge Holland. Who is he? What is he?
RoboCop. I just got that.
God damn.
Hold on.
No, but for real, man. There you go. No, but he's just bland for me. Like, he really is. He's just bland. He's got no character whatsoever.
Oh,
no.
Look at what Elizabeth said.
Yes, release them all.
Ahead. Don't jump ahead.
Elizabeth says, put him with Gallus. Okay.
You're jumping ahead.
All right, sorry.
All right, it's right now. Let's talk about Lash Legend and Ivy Nile here.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, you love
her.
Lash Legend.
I think Lash Legend. I'm going to say it over and over again. She is like the perfect women's wrestler. She's got style. She's got grace. She's got size. She's got charisma. She's huge, but well proportioned. Like, she is incredible. Like, she's like, if she walked through an airport, this 6-foot Amazon of a woman, she, what do you call it? The airport test that Booker T always talks about. She's a freaking star. Wonderful. I love Lash Legend. The finest chocolate in all of the land. Sorry,
Jimmy rebuttal.
I love Lash Legend.
Nah,
she's beautiful and great.
I agree. I agree with you, actually, Vet. I do think she's beautiful. I mean, Ray, not Vet.
You agree with the Vet too. Vet feels the same way. He just won't admit it. He likes some dark coffee in his milk.
I like to let Ray have his fun It's no fun if I try to also put over Lash Legend.
She's gorgeous.
But to be honest, though, does WWE, and I'm talking about, more the main roster, do they see, I don't see them actually bringing her up anytime soon, even if she was ready to be pushed up, because they've already got, their two big women in Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I feel like if she was to come into the main roster right now, just say, would they make her have an impact, considering you got the other two fine females also on the main roster? There's an issue. So I don't know what that means for the future, but we'll see. But no, I like her too. She's beautiful. I just don't like her in this group. I get Noam Dar off my TV, for example.
She ain't gonna be there too long, bro.
Oh, she's been there long enough, though. You know what I mean? So
Vet rolled his eyes at something he said, and before Vet, you say anything, Zane Vicious says, and I quote, "My aunt looked just like Lash Legend when she was young, just heavier. Now I need to see pictures and a phone number."
And a phone number.
Vet.
Yeah. Well, Lash Legend. She's a legend. And she's lashing out. And shenanigans lead to a lash kick, and she wins the match.
Why not? What do you got next?
Sarah asked Javon Evans if he attacked Noam Dar.
Why?
And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about,
He's
but it's
too
about to get bouncy. Yeah,
he's bouncy.
Yep.
Not for that.
Oh, and then we get somebody named Carly Bright asking Ava Rain, "Can I have a match?" She's like, "Well, you came in like 13th place, so no, you can't." She's like, "Please," and then Ava's like, "All right."
Why not?
Yep. But then we get Javon Evans versus Oro Mensah. Yeah, this is a match. Lash goes to get a chair to help out. But Trick immediately appears as soon as she has a chair in her hand. Somehow he just came out immediately and stopped her from doing whatever she was thinking she was going to do. And then Javon Evans did a spinny thing, and then he won. And then Trick gets in there and he kind of daps up Evans, and they're friends.
I want to ask Jimmy, because I have a certain feeling about Javon Evans. But Jimmy, what do you think about this kid? I mean, he's very young. He still hasn't filled into his body physically. He's like, what, 19? What is he? He's a baby.
I think so. Something like that.
All right, give me your honest opinion on this kid, Javon Evans.
Well, to be honest, I can't really give you a non, because this is the first time I'm really seeing him. So
okay, that's great. So then, what do you think of him? Seeing him the first time?
He's still, look.
Keep in mind, he's a kid.
He's all right, I guess, but I need to see more, man, when it comes to him, because, like I said, this is the first time I've seen him. I've noticed with this show in particular, since quite a few wrestlers have gone up to the main roster, they're bringing out now a lot of other people, probably from the next level. I'm not talking about the show, our show, but
Level Up,
the next level show, or Level Up, whatever the fuck it's called.
That's close enough.
Yeah, close enough. They're bringing a lot of wrestlers from there into the main NXT roster, and it shows, man. He feels like a next level guy for me right now. So I need to see more moving forward. I just think he's still very green, very small too.
Well, he's not small. He's like 6'4", 6'6".
I'm talking about physically.
Physically, right.
Charles
That's what I'm
Barkley.
saying.
He's essentially Charles Barkley.
Vet, like, all right, so we've seen him a couple of times, Vet, and your opinion really freaking matters to me. I love the kid, and I think the kid has a very, very bright future, but what are your thoughts on seeing him after now? This is his second match or third match.
Really? Is that his third match?
Yeah, well, he's just like Lash Legend in a way. He's just a tall, delicious cup of chocolate. All right. So Kelly Kincaid asks Charlie Dempsey about his are you going to be okay since you don't have any friends? And then he said something. I didn't listen.
It's just something about Chocolate Factory. Yeah.
Yeah. Wesley walks. Then Wes is in the ring. They actually went from him going to the ring to him coming into the ring with no 10 extra skits in the middle. So that was weird. So he's out there and he's got a microphone, and I wrote down in my notes, could someone please interrupt this, please?
Yes.
And then they talk about, he's saying how he he was supposed to have a longer recovery time, but he cut a year down into 6 months. And I was like, this promo feels like it's going 6 months. And then Obafemi finally comes out, and I was
It
like,
was
"Where have you been all day,
saved.
Obafemi? Please."
He saved this.
And then Ivar came out.
Oh,
And then Josh Briggs came out. So this quickly turned into a hit everybody's music segment. And I hate those. But I did like how Obafemi was like, when Wesley suggested, how about a fatal four-way? And he's like, no. You three fight among yourselves.
well, I love it. He's like, this is why you are not the champion.
Yeah, you are not the champion.
You are stupid. That's what he meant to say, bro. So I had to tweet out at Obafemi that this guy is just a fucking. He's a stud, bro. He is. His Vet. Let me ask you, Vet. And then
There's a
Jenny,
lot of guys with this haircut, I have to say.
that's fine.
Because Javon Evans has this haircut. Oro Mensah has a pink version of this haircut. Wesley would have this haircut when he does put his hair up, but he had it down for this promo. But anyway, what was your question?
Oh, my question is that there are very few people that come into the business, and I did some research on him, looking through his Instagram, his social media, you know, where he came from, his powerlifting, and he's an incredible shot putting, incredible athlete. But this is one of these guys that I feel is just born to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
When he gets in the ring and he cuts that promo on the guys, like, how believable is he to you? Like,
oh man, he's like a male Lash Legend. Like he's just
no,
a
come on, man,
tub of
seriously.
chocolate pudding. What? What?
I mean, he's so
Isn't
good.
he?
He's so freaking good. I like him a lot. But Jimmy, you don't watch this every week.
He's got the look, that's for sure. I'll say that. He looks like somebody. Like, I mean, look at him. He's a big dude. He looks classy. You know what I mean?
Right?
But again, this
The
is
new
the first
King
time I've
Booker.
seen him.
Oh.
Just like Evans reminds me also more of like a taller Wesley, like a lanky Wesley, if you know what I mean. Sorry, he kind of does look like him. But this guy, yeah, I like his look.
That's
I
racist.
definitely like his look. That's not racist. Come on.
What? Go ahead.
I like the way he looks, man. He seemed okay on the mic. Again, I still need to see more to have a proper sort of image of him, but he's definitely got the look down, Pat. Whether he's going to be in for the long haul, we'll see. And if he's any good, but he's okay for now.
Damn, Jimmy's tough this week, Vet.
I'm just saying, just from what I've seen, you know what I mean?
I mean,
He's okay.
I would have had him beat Roman Reigns night one.
Oh,
That's how good I think he is. But anyway,
Big debut. So Kelly asks Ridge if he'll have this tag team match against the Good Brothers alone. And she warns him about all the chin locks he's about to endure. And then Chase U comes in to offer their help. And they give him they're like, basically Andre Chase does he gives him the Tony Gurria. Oh, you're an Englishman. You're an Englishman. You guys should be a team. So Riley Osborne teams up with Ridge. And Thea's very happy about this. Thea trusts Ridge. Nobody else does. Maybe Andre Chase does. Everyone else is very suspicious.
very, very suspicious.
The Good Brothers make their entrance.
Why?
I don't because now it's developmental. They need to learn.
Yeah.
So I don't know about your guys' feed, but like the next thing that they cut to after the break was Pillman Jr. in the NXT kitchen. But right before that, I heard an alarm clock.
Snoring.
Did you guys hear that? Like alarm clock, like ding.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually
So-
didn't.
That's this girl. That's Sue Young. What's her name?
Oh,
Wendy
yeah,
Chu,
yeah.
but
Wendy-
I didn't-
Wendy Chu, right.
But it was like they cut. Was there like a vignette that they cut out? There was
It's just darkness with the alarm going off.
Okay, so it
They've done
was
this twice already. Same shit.
I didn't even notice the first time, but
Last week they did this with something similar to it.
well, we knew she was coming back, and I guess she was on Level Up. But why are they not? Anyway, whatever.
Wendy
So
Chu.
Pillman's in the kitchen, and Jasmine has a card for Reptilian Britt Baker, and she's like, "Does anybody want to sign?" And everybody leaves, and then Pillman's like, "Yeah, I'll sign it. What's her name?" And then he gets her name wrong twice.
Is it
and then
Katie or
signs it.
Kathy or something?
Yeah, so
That's a good looking woman, bro. That's another airport test. Like you see her walk through an airport, you're like, God, who is she? Man, but she ain't no Lash Legend. Sorry,
no, just one.
nobody is.
All right, so here it is: Ridge and Riley versus MG and LG. They had their little match or whatever. Ridge gets rolled up after Riley Osborne misses a drop kick. I don't know what he was aiming for, but
He was aiming for this dude's stomach. He looked
yeah,
like
that was the spot. So, okay, the spot is I kick you. That's the spot. That's all it was ever going to be. I don't know how he could have attacked. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah. So
maybe
Ridge
it was
gets
supposed to be
rolled up.
maybe it's supposed to be the old dick kick, right, Jimmy? You know that.
Could be the good old dick kick for sure.
Yeah, double dick kick. I have nothing on this. Jimmy, you have anything?
Not really. I mean, yeah.
Good.
We get a package on this girl, Carly Bright,
Mm-hmm.
who we just found out about. And then she gets a match with Lola Vice. So here it is. And then they show Karate Carmen and Natty watching on the TV in the back. And then they go leave. Like, come on, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
They just left. And then
Yep, they did.
Lola hits a spinning back fist for the win. And then, you know who makes the save, like coming out here to keep
Ridge Holland.
Yeah, Ridge Holland. Keep Lola and Shayna from beating the shit out of poor Carly Bright, who just got here, like just this morning, like just put her stuff in her locker and asked Ava for a match like a brave young lady, and
She
she's
probably
gonna get mauled by these two
probably puts
Panthers
some
here. And
her locker. I can see one of those little stick-on deodorant things that make the locker smell good. You know, brand new one.
little Christmas tree air freshener.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turn it every
The
week.
car fresheners, whatever the fuck.
Sure.
Yeah.
What did you think
So,
of
yeah.
Carly? What did you guys think of Carly?
I barely got to see what was going on before the match was
What did you
over.
think of Lola's butt? Anybody?
Wow, it's $1 million bucks.
It's Instagram ready.
Yeah. She's just so gorgeous, man. And just, she knows it too, man. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, she's
just-
charisma, bro. That girl.
she is. She gets it. She knows who she is, put it that way.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Lola can be my voice any day, put it that way.
You know, if Mike was in the chat right now, he'd be commenting on her. Right?
100%.
I'm just saying. Mike was a huge fan of her ass.
Yeah.
I think we all are, put it that way.
We sound like a couple of perverts.
Right. Well,
Yeah, that's a Mike.
better way to
again.
pay tribute then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
exactly.
shit, right?
So Riley Osborne apologizes to Ridge Holland for kicking him in the dick, and you know, they have a little discussion. Everybody seems to be fine, and Thea gives him a big hug. Like I said, she's convinced. She has no reason to doubt Ridge Holland.
Such a kind heart. Such an innocent soul.
All right. Well, looks like there's been enough talk.
Yes.
It's time for the main event.
Why?
It's Tony D versus Chuck D for the Heritage Cup Championship.
Didn't they pay off Ava Rain earlier too, by the way?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
They paid the fine. They paid the
Yeah.
fine.
A little extra if you want to, make this place up here.
Oh, okay.
Add a
There you
big
go.
screen
Yeah, a little
TV over here if you want.
All right. Well, so in round one, Don Tony rolls up Chuck, okay, for one fall.
Kevin Castle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And round two, no decision. Round three, Chuck hits a bridging German.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 1-1 now. Round four, no decision. Round five, Tony hits his little fisherman whatever, and he's the new Heritage Cup champion.
What a rib. Now he's got to walk around with that damn cup in his suitcase.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So your new Heritage Cup champion, this guy.
Can you see him I'm sorry, Jimmy, instead of walking through the airport with the cup in his hand, like one of those little rolling like hand trucks that expands and has like the rope on it. What do you call it? The bungee cords. Just rolling.
Yeah,
Anyway.
something like that.
Yeah, Jimmy, what are you gonna say about this?
Well, I mean, the NXT or Shawn Michaels specifically, he sees something in Don Tony, man, and it feels weird me saying that because I do. I think of DT and KC, but is he really? I mean, he's okay. I don't mind him, right? But why do they push this guy? I mean, they see something in him. I mean, the guy wears tracksuit pants to a match. I mean, seriously.
Jimmy,
I just don't understand.
you're saying what we've been saying for 3 years, bro.
I know, but what does Shawn Michaels in particular, what does he see in him, man? Like, you know what I mean?
Money.
He has a ponytail.
It could be that. Maybe but wouldn't he be jealous since he lost his hair? And I'm talking about Shawn Michaels.
Actually, you and Tony D kind of look alike.
Don't say that, bro. Please.
You do. Tony D is a very handsome
What you
man.
talk about?
Am I off your vet? Like envision Tony D.
A little bit. I can see that there being a relation.
Go get yourself one of those.
Hey.
What does he wear? A derby? Get a derby. Put it on real quick. Does he have a derby there? D, do you have a derby? Can you hear me?
No, she's actually playing video games with a headset on.
I wish I
Sounds like a much better time than watching NXT. Well, and speaking of which, this is how we end the show. So like Tony D'Angelo like raises the cup and they're like, fuck, who cares about this? Let's go to the back. Let's go to the back. And then they show like all the North American contenders are just lying on the ground. And who's there? But Gallus. Oh my God, it was Gallus all along.
Hold on.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Yes.
I can't stand Gallus, man. Just quietly.
But he's got a long mustache. He's got a Pringles guy mustache now.
Oh man.
Gallus
He's
won.
reinvented himself like Chris Jericho.
That's what they should just call themselves. like remember the Viano?
Yeah, like the peoples. Remember the peoples?
The invaders. Like just
All the
Gallus
invaders,
1,
right.
Gallus 2, Gallus
Yeah.
3. 'Cause I don't
They
even
should.
remember their names. I don't care.
Or Viano 1, Viano 2. Remember them?
Yeah, I just mentioned that, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know,
happens
but
all
there
the
was 6
time.
of them.
This happens all the time on the wreckage, right?
Oh my gosh. No, wait. The wreckage.
The wreckage. Yeah.
The
So this was
wreckage.
wreckage.
Yeah.
This was bad.
Yeah.
This episode was as well. I would say it's. I mean, there was. Let's put it this way: if you're looking at a wrestling show from top to bottom, this was just like a bunch of nothing, right? But if you look at it another way, a bunch of pretty girls kind of paraded through the set. So like,
I'll take that.
good, some nice looking guys, some tall cups of chocolate pudding from either gender.
Well, listen, I'll never watch the Tony D'Angelo family again without thinking about our boy Mike. Let's be real. You know,
Sounds exactly like him.
getting the
He would hate
gabagool.
Gallus too.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Mike is better off not having to watch this every single week. I'm sure he's doing much better things in heaven. But anyway, guys, listen. I just wanted to say, man, that this was hurting my soul for like a good solid week, and I'm glad we got to do this, man, and just kick off the show, talking about our boy Mike, and listening to you guys in the chat, and it was good. It felt cleansing, and then we had to deal with this shit at the end. Maybe we should have did the other way around. But
And Zane Vicious he's dangerously close to getting banned for saying that Gallus is his a la carte items.
oh God, no!
I would
Oh my God,
rather
Baba,
starve.
what's up, buddy?
I would sooner starve. And there was no dark.
No Dark Roxanne.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Oh, she's dark. She's dark.
Who needs an NXT Women's Champion?
She's dark, Roxanne. Anywho, Jimmy, why don't you put over Pontificate and then Vet, and then I'll put over my stuff. What do you got going on, Jimmy?
Well, long live the Hitman, as Javi Ochia said in the chat. No doubt about it. But yeah, if you want to find me, you can on the X right there at DJ MassFX, also at the PWC Network. Like and subscribe right here at channelattitude.com, where for $5, not only do you get the best, but the realest talk in all of pro wrestling. HaminMediaGroup.podbean.com and the PWC Network.podbean.com. And that's a wrap from me.
That's it?
That's it, man.
All right.
That's it.
All right, yo Wallaby. What do you got there going on there, Vet, there, over there?
Well, the next time you'll probably see Jimmy T is with me on Sunday morning when after the collision we sift through
The wreckage.
and then you can see how a wrestling show can suck in completely different ways, but still suck just as much. So last week I was starving. I didn't hardly get any of my items. It was like they flashed a picture, they flashed a picture of all my food items and said like out of stock or whatever.
That was a bad
So I was
episode,
like,
man.
Yeah. But yeah, so you could, whatever they do, If there's no preemptions or whatever, I have no idea what's going on this week, but check
More
us out there.
basketball, probably, guys. I'm just
Yeah, whatever it is. Whatever it is, whether AEW has a show or not, we're going to have a show. So that's going to be 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern if you want to join us live for that. If you want to join me live and Brandon live to talk about TNA live, or actually they're the opposite of live. They tape like a month at a time. But if you want to hear us talk about it on the Impact Attack, that's at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Eastern. So if you want to do that, right following Brandon's first hour of Raw Watch Along, also on the HMG channel. So lots of content for you guys to enjoy there. Of course, if HMG is not enough for you, we've also got Wrestling with Rip Rogers, where you can ask him a question every week at their concrete time of 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. So you're definitely going to want to do that. You'll want to argue with Von Lilas about whether the Pacers are going to be able to pull out the big miracle comeback. And all kinds of stuff. So check that out. And then, of course, Stevie Richards, the Wrestling Analysis channel is being retooled.
that's all I got.
Well, that's him. And he's just on Patreon. He just broke down with a 20-minute video the psychology of the pro wrestling entrance. It's very interesting to hear him talk about. He used some specific examples of wrestling entrances. Whether it was, I'll spoil it here because he goes in so in depth. It won't even matter if I say which ones he uses. But he shows like LA Knight from SmackDown in Lyon, France, or he shows The Rock from that one where it looked like the lightning bolts were making him appear on Earth, or he's just showing like the different ways that a wrestling entrance can be done, or even Bryan Danielson's entrance with the final countdown from Forbidden Door or whatever. So really great content that Stevie's breaking all this stuff down, and of course he's still got his fitness and everything else too. So go check out all of his channels and support Stevie. I know Mike was supporting Stevie and Rip and everybody.
Yeah. Well, what I got going on? Shit. The Professor and Tommy Wonder this week will be doing one of their very favorite. Like, this is one of the most popular things as part of the Pro Wrestling Reflection. It is the What If series, and this week it's going to be. Let's throw this up there. What if Goldberg's undefeated streak continued after Starrcade 1998? In other words, he didn't drop the title. So Tommy Wonder and the Professor are going to be booking that. The early release will be on my Twitter at Big Ray Hernandez. You can see the video there, and then the audio podcast and the YouTube and all that stuff will be later on in the weekend. So, Vet, what do you think, man? What do you think would have happened if Goldberg didn't lose the title?
Fans would have turned on him.
What do you think, Jimmy? Same?
Yeah, I agree. They were kind of turning on him at that time anyway. I was actually happy when Nash beat Goldberg at the time of Starrcade 98. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I was in WO for life. And Hall and Nash got back together again.
That's true.
With the cow pod, the taser, if you remember, when he tasered Goldberg. Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday, man. But I think the fans would have turned on him if we kept going as him as champ.
Yes, nothing to. What is it? What did Sonic say? Nothing says end of days like Knicks in the playoffs. Shut up. Also, tonight, it's the A Show with me and April Hunter. Well, actually, April Hunter and me. But I don't know if you guys have. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, like tons of stuff, including Steve Buscemi getting punched in the face in New York City for no apparent reason, but New York is supposedly safe. And some other person getting punched in the face for no reason. But check this out, ladies and gentlemen. You know the whole Ozempic craze in Hollywood?
Yes.
Everybody's thinking, well, apparently, no Ozempic.
That's a good one.
You like this?
I like it.
Brother, some bad side effects apparently are taken. We're going to discuss these side effects and basically the possible death you will suffer by using this untested drug.
A lot of people are on it though, Ray. That's the thing. A lot of people.
Do me a favor. Watch the show tonight because we are going to break it down. It is
I'm
not a
actually
good
looking
thing.
forward to it.
Just
I'm actually-
listen. Seriously.
I will.
If you
And you
want
can find it on the PWC network also, by
it
the
will
way.
be. It
Same
will
with the
be.
Reflection.
I will. But listen, if you want to lose weight, it's simple. Just eat less calories than you burn. It's going to take some time, but do it the right way. I've lost so far 72 pounds since I started.
You've lost a lot, dude. A lot.
I got a
From the
little
time when I
bit of
first-
muscle, not too much, but it's now it's starting to come back. You know what I'm saying? So just slowly do it. Eat right. Cut out most sugar. I'm telling people, cut out those stupid fruit drinks, soda, all
And
that
at the-
shit.
and failing everything else, look, just watch Gallus. You'll lose your appetite.
You'll throw up
Like
every
that.
time you eat if you watch Gallus. But anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been one hell of a show. We love you, Mike. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you guys here. And we're going to bid you a goodbye for now. And again, remember, Mike will always be acknowledged here. And Gary acknowledges Mike. We all raise the ones and acknowledge our brother, Mike. God bless you,
Love you,
EDM5.
Mike.
We love you, buddy.
Absolutely.
Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next week on the Next Level Wrestling Review. I'm gonna give a yeet. A yeet for Mike.
Yeet. Yeet. Yeet.
This is the Hustler Rep Rogers. Yeah, it's fucking me. Yeah, and listen to the fucking Hameen Media Group. That's Ben Hameen Media Group from Rip Rogers. Go get him and go fuck yourself.